listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Survive in advance, baby. Survive in advance, and don't fumble the ball on the way into the end zone. Like Bino's Colts did yesterday. Not that I want to bring up anything right off the top, but for our Tennessee Vols, hey man, we come out of, I think C said it best. Tennessee deserves to be 4-1. You take the Georgia game and you take the Mississippi State game, all the great things you did in the Georgia game, some of the weird things that happened in the Mississippi State game. They're right where they should be. Their record is who they are. And you know what? I'm good with it. That's a very good start for this team. Joey Aguilar era. I'm going to turn it over to Bino now. We talked about it for about 5.5 hours the other day. And then I couldn't get sleep at like 5 in the morning. And then Titans Bill Bino called me twice and woke me up at like 9:01 and then 9:05 while I was laying there on the floor sleeping. Thoughts on that, Bino?
Hey, it's an NFL Sunday. You got to get up from there, Tony. Don't care. Titans Bill wants everybody up and ready for the NFL action.
His Titans they got a good club, Bri, don't they?
Yeah, that was a great game yesterday.
So, congratulations, Bri, to your Jags. So, I'm going to turn it over to Bino. I will say this, though. I knew Saturday's game was going to ring in a contentious response from our fan base. I didn't know it would be that contentious, as some of you were that tore up over a win. But I guess that means we're back. When we're grading wins, like we were grading that win the other day, I guess that means we're back. And then Brian has a thought about Josh Heupel, the road, and the narrative, and all that stuff, some stuff he's uncovered. But let's go ahead without further ado and turn the floor over on Mondays, as we generally do, to the man that's got perspective, the man that's got history, and the man that's got a rather large brain and some great takes. Bino Jeff Henderson, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead, Bino.
Well, thank you, Tony. I appreciate that. Maybe about a quarter of that was true. Just an ugly, ragged, mistake-filled performance that turned into a much-needed, get your stuff and let's get out of here win. Plenty to fix coming out of this one. There's no question about that. Offensively, we were kind of out of sync all day. Only 5 for 14 on third down. Joey was wild in the strike zone most of the day, and his receivers didn't bail him out, which turned into a couple of really critical interceptions. Defensively, we didn't tackle extremely well, especially at the point of attack, and they had trouble stopping the run, obviously. Special teams fumbled opening punt that set the tone for the rest of the day, in my opinion. Then we had another missed field goal. And then from a coaching standpoint, once again, Josh displayed some really puzzling clock management. I think I don't know if he's like Jerry Green and he's from the Dean Smith coaching tree, but he's saving timeouts like they're green stamps. Use one every once in a while, Coach. That's what they're there for. What we did see, however, through all of that was some really opportunistic play by both sides, and that'll forgive a whole lot of sins. Defense had 5 sacks, got critical stops on State's last possession of regulation and on the overtime possession, and scored 2 touchdowns of their own, which bailed us out on a day that our offense was producing at a level that it's not what we've become accustomed to so far this season. Offensively, though, through all the unevenness of the performance, that 13-play, 75-yard drive to tie the game was as clutch as we've seen here in a number of years. And through it all, they still put up 466 yards. And then Bishop has a one-play drive of his own that we saw Georgia throw up against us in overtime. So That's some good stuff there. It's not often you play a C game in this league and win on the road, and I'll take it, and I appreciate it. And it's an avoidance of a loss that would likely have altered the season that we've seen over the last several years here. So a win is a win is a win.
Bino, the funny thing is, and Matt was talking about this, Lebby and them just worked Heupel and his staff. They just worked them the other day. Just worked them. The Vols have better players, and you win a game, but that clock management thing, the thing I wonder, and I was talking with a friend of mine that's in the periphery of that industry, I wonder if they have too many people, too many meetings, too much time, and too many Chiefs and not enough Indians. When you watch some of this messed up clock management in that sport, they've got 1,000,001 analysts. I mean, back in the day, you had 5 guys on your staff, and you just went out and managed a football game. I wonder if it's just information overload these days, because twice now we've seen Heupel do this, and I wonder if they're just exhausted by the time they get to game day, because that looked like some tired thinking out there. Does that make any sense what I'm saying to you? It defies description. I wonder if it's just too much for these guys now.
That's an interesting thought. It certainly could be. I just don't think Josh is real good right now in close game situations where you're slowing things down and thinking the next play out other than, fast breaking. For a lot of his early career, his wins were kind of runaway type deals.
Yep.
Where you didn't have to deal with that very much. But you're going to have to deal with that a whole lot more in this league. And I think Josh is a smart guy. And I think he's a pretty good self-evaluator.
Yeah.
So I think we'll see improvement in that area.
I wonder if he gets help. Because we were talking the other day. Obviously, like Matt said, he's calling the plays. I mean, they can say what they want to say. He's over there calling the plays. He's running the show, as he should. I mean, it's his offense. He's got a great feel for it. He's got a great mind. I made what I thought's a pretty interesting point in today's blog, and you can go read it at tclub.team or tonybasilio.com, however you want to get there. But my read on this particular team and Heupel is that I don't think he's the best coach in the world, but I think he's good enough. I don't think Joey Aguilar is best quarterback in the world, but I think he's good enough. And you're in a league this year where good enough might be good enough. Some years, Bino, good enough's not going to be good enough. And in some spots, good enough's not going to be good enough. If you'd had a better opponent across from you Saturday, and you'd have done some of the things we did coaching-wise, you would have gotten roached in that game. You wouldn't have lived to tell about that. But because you're playing Mississippi State, and it's got to be said, I wrote it today, I believe this. I think Josh Heupel is a stone-cold winner. I think some guys just win. Some guys just win and some guys just lose. And I think he's one of these guys that wins. Dating back to his days at Oklahoma, when he showed up after John Blake recruited all that talent, and he's early in the Bob Stoops era, and he goes out there, and he's just a stone-cold winner. And I do believe that. I think this guy's a stone-cold winner. Conversely, by the same token, I think that this kid we have at quarterback, like Bino said, that 75-yard drive at the end of the game, now granted, look, here's the thing about him. He didn't throw a perfect ball to Brazel, but it was close enough for it to be caught. I mean, he's not perfect. And look, does he have like we were talking about this Friday, and by the way, we won't be at Calhoun's on Friday. Does the guy have a stinker in him? Maybe. Maybe he gets you beat. Maybe he does one of these deals where he throws some of those high balls in the middle and they're tipped up in the air, and maybe it's a 3 or 4 interception game and he gets you beat. Here's the thing about him, though. I love him. I love guys that hang in the pocket, aren't afraid to take a hit, want to make a play, are loved by his teammates. Everything I need to know about him I saw in that East Tennessee State game. He could have easily gone out there and padded his stats like some of the past quarterbacks we've seen. And, brother, he wasn't interested in that. They ran their game plan. They got in. They got out. I haven't seen this Aguilar guy, Bino, one time go into business for himself. Not one time in his early career here.
No, I haven't either, Tony. And I'll take the trade-off of a guy that turns it over from time to time who's not afraid to play.
Yep.
I'm so sick of ball holders or early release guys. And we had a quarterback before that was both ends of the spectrum. He was a ball holder, afraid to throw balls sometimes, and other times when the rush is coming, he's just hoisting it.
Here's how big a degenerate I am, Bino. I got the Vols on one. I got Nico and the Ryder Cup on the other because I need Nico to come from behind, down 17-0 to get a backdoor cover, and he did it. Nico, you are a winner, brother. Now, you're 0-5 on the year or whatever you are, and you're not going to win a game. But in my book, you are a stone-cold winner. About Heupel, Bino, he's not the greatest coach in the league. He's not the greatest recruiter. He's not the best-looking guy. I mean, he wins a lot of games. And when they finally get to the 16-team format, which they will get to, these leagues like to posture with each other. And Petitti's up there right now, saber-rattling. They're all going to come to the table. There's too much money for that not to happen. He's good enough for me, Heupel. He's not great, Bino, but he's good. He's very good. You know what I mean? He's not great.
Tony, I'm as big a Heupel disciple as there is, but I don't think anybody's ever heard me use the word great with him.
Exactly.
I think what he is a really, really solid football coach.
Agree.
And proven to be a really, really solid program builder.
Yes.
I don't know if he'll ever win an SEC championship here. I don't know if he'll ever win a national championship here. But from what I've seen, I don't know that he won't.
I agree. Look, as we said Friday.
Like I did with those other guys we had in.
As we said Friday, Bino, and this is just true now. If this team from here, and I'm sorry, my allergies are just my throat and all that. It's just the time of the year where the leaves are falling here. Those of you not in the area, and it is what it is. This season, if Tennessee gets all their defensive players back, which we were talking about that the other night, they're not going to get Ricky Gibson back. But now that you've got Hood on one side, if you get the other kid back that wants to come back and play, and you get a defensive lineman back from here or two, and you just stay healthy, this team could win the whole thing. They could. Now, they could also miss the playoffs. But if they got in that tournament at the end of the year, one thing, and then we'll go to the phones, one thing the Georgia game showed me the other day is some of you were throwing dirt, and I tried to warn you about this a couple weeks ago. You're throwing dirt on Alabama way too soon. Because they're damn. Like, I had some people calling the show the other day, and listen, more power to you. The Vols are going to go down there and win. Let me help you out with that. Bino, are the Vols going to go down there and win? Now, they could win. I say there's like a 25% chance of that happening, right, Bino? But
I'm not counting on it.
Yeah. I mean,
they can. I'm not counting.
Sure.
I ain't putting any check by it.
But the point is this: they could. I mean, they. Yeah. It didn't like several years ago where you were going to be a 35-point underdog. Now you will be an 11.5-point underdog right now. I'm not counting on Tennessee going down there and winning. I'm not counting on Vanderbilt going down there and winning. I think Vanderbilt's probably going to get absolutely smoked this weekend. Although, you think about that spot and game day is going to be there and all this stuff. Vanderbilt is streaking again, and Alabama just had a really emotional game, which going forward in this league, that's going to be a theme because you're going to have to stay on the beam in this league mentally. Stay on the beam. So we'll go to the phones. Any other thoughts, guys? And Brian, I want you to do the thing about the road record with Heupel a little later on, because to me, it just illustrates how hard it is to win in this league. And I'm not sure that our fans, as we've gotten into this modern era, Bino, people aren't winning in people's buildings like they once were. They're just not.
No, Tony, they're not. And again, we've had some of the best teams in the country in this league for a number of years, and you're just not going on the road and beating them.
And by the way, yeah, he's right. And by the way, the Oregon thing, that Penn State deal, now you know why, Bino, they call him Big Game James. What do you think of that offense, Bino, he runs? Old Big Game James up there.
Tony, it's just one of those quirky things. I have no doubt James Franklin is a really, really good football coach.
Yep.
But he just can't get over that hump, whether it's at home, whether it's on the road. It's like, and congratulations, you were the only one out there jockeying Alabama in that game at Georgia. But it's like that series. There's just no explanation how Alabama can continue to win in that game, going over a couple of different coaches. It doesn't matter who's coaching Alabama in that game.
And
it's kind of like Florida and Tennessee in games.
And we were watching along on that Oregon deal the other day with Penn State. And Penn State takes 55 minutes off offensively. They're playing for like a 6-3. I don't know what they're playing for. The game looked like 1970-something. And then all of a sudden they just rediscover the forward pass. They score 14 straight points. They get the thing to overtime, take a lead, and still lose. You got to tip your cap to James Franklin. The guy kind of blows. And Josh Heupel's pretty good. He's pretty good. To very good. Not great, but that's okay. Neither is our quarterback. He's pretty good to very good. And I think those two things this year might end up being good enough before it's over as we continue after this.
Are you searching for a great local coffee? I'm Billy with Grade A Grounds. You can buy our freshly roasted coffee online and support a good cause with every sip. Great coffee, greater causes. Visit our website today, gradeagrounds.com.
You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting. Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gouffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gouffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gouffon Moving and Storage, pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gouffon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gouffon.com. That's Gouffon.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gouffon Moving and Storage.
Why limit great savings to just one weekend? This year, our Labor Day special lasts all month long. It's the September Smart Comfort event from Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. This month only, enjoy valuable home comfort upgrades at no extra cost when you install a new HVAC system or water heater to prepare your home for the colder months ahead. This September, you can get a free furnace upgrade with qualifying HVAC system installation or free sediment filter with water heater installation. Pipe Wrench is your partner for energy-efficient and cost-effective upgrades that keep your family comfortable and safe year-round. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. No rush, no stress, just smart seasonal savings for HVAC or water heater installations until the end of September. Call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776, or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
TB back with you, 865-200-5402. The one thing that the post-game the other night, the Garza Law fifth quarter fan reaction, which we won't have a game this week. I'm not sure if we have a game this week in college football. What are we doing with our schedule? These schedule makers, man. Space these games out. As a caller once told Brian Hartman, let it breathe, right, Bri? How'd he say it to you, Bri?
Let it breathe, man. Let it breathe.
I mean, the game day thing, is it Vanderbilt, and Alabama?
I think they were going to go to Tallahassee, and then Florida State did what they did.
Jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge. Back to the phones we go. TLD Logistics phone lines. Hi, you're on the air.
Hey, Tony, it's Pete in St. Louis. How are you guys?
Hey, St. Louis Pete. Welcome in.
So, listen, I had an interesting watch on Saturday because I couldn't see the game live. I avoided all contact with anybody, avoided the television. And then as I went to grab my phone to see what time it was as I was headed home, my Garza Law Firm fifth quarter reaction update was on my phone. I saw that they had won. But ironic as that is, what was interesting is when you view a game like that without emotion, and I watched it from start to stop, and then I listened to the call-in show afterwards. I'm like, wow, that's really the difference of the emotion of the game, because I had a completely different lens through which I was viewing the game. And then I look back at the statistics later, and, you know, it was mentioned today, I think Bino said a C effort, and it's interesting how our eyeball tells us what effort looks like, what we're used to in performance. But if you break down some of the statistics, we had 5 sacks. The league average is 2.5 a game. We had 11 tackles for loss. Yes, Joey had the 2 picks, but they were high. They were not great balls, but they hit the hands of the receivers. But he still finished in the top yardage in the entire conference for the day. And it's really the 2 picks are what separate him from having a better efficiency performance than 2 or 3 of the other top guys. So it was just interesting I felt like the cadence of the game and the rhythm of the game probably impacted it more. And then definitely you're going to have drop passes always, but dropping a TD and then that PI call. So it's just interesting how the emotions of a game, being invested in it, I would have been torn up like the rest of you if I'd have been watching that thing live. But analyzing it afterwards and viewing it with a lens of knowing the outcome was definitely a different experience and tempered me a little bit.
You controlled the tempo, as a friend of mine likes to say, who likes to record games and cut all the fat out, so to speak. Yeah, that's an interesting perspective from you. People were viscerally upset with the way Tennessee's got gashed in the run game and beat up at the point of attack. And then they were viscerally upset with the way Heupel took those 2 timeouts off the field with him and didn't even give his kicker an opportunity to kick. It was a weird, strange, odd, crazy football game on Saturday. Just a bizarre game, man.
Yeah, and those are great criticisms.
Sure.
The time management, that's super valid. The only thing in my mind I was thinking is, what is he doing, trying to make sure there's no substitution? But then they paused and let 25 seconds run off the clock before they ran the play. I was like, well, I guess that wasn't it. I guess it wasn't a let's hurry up and catch them out of position opportunity, whether it started that way and then they had to alter what they were doing because of what they saw. But those are all great critiques. They played through all of that. But defensively, just not seeing us get hit on the run like that so hard. But this is what I love about this team so far this year, from the offense and the defense. When they need to make a play, that 4th down catch by Brazel, it was thrown behind him, and that winners win. And what we have right now are guys that know how to win when it mattered the most. And I know one of the callers, or you said this over the weekend, Nico would have never completed that tying score in the 4th quarter. He doesn't have that mojo. That's what's impressive about this team, is you can never count them out, and winners win, and those guys play and make the plays under pressure.
That's right. And this quarterback's not great, but he's good enough in this league this year. This is a Joes versus Pros league. And the Joes are good enough in this league. In fact, the Joes are outplaying the Pros. Look at what happened. Guys, in what world, Bino, in what world would I have told you guys that a kid from Ferris State would outplay Nussmeier in that game Saturday if I'd have told you guys that a year ago? Y'all would have laughed at me. Lane Kiffin put the ball in that kid's hands on 4th down and said, "Go win the game for me, Beanstar."
Yeah, Tony. I mean, it is the new world. It is a brand new world because, up until several years ago, there wouldn't be a kid from Ferris State sitting over there at Ole Miss.
And I told Bino, Pete, before you came on off the air, I said one thing that the reaction of people showed me is that they can professionalize this all they want. This is still plenty college football. The emotion on our postgame the other day leads me to believe that this is still college football in its heart.
You love your school, right?
No doubt.
You went there, whether it's your family followed it.
No doubt.
It is so different. It'll always be different from the Pros in that.
Yep.
How players come and go has definitely changed. But again, I would have been a completely different human being watching that type of game, not knowing the outcome. Probably saved myself a few extra heartbeats over the weekend, but definitely still have the passion for it. And it's just interesting. And you're right. If you look at the statistics from this past week, I ran them through, I Googled them, and what quarterbacks performed the best? It was the Joes, as you pointed out.
Yep.
And it's just really an interesting, and I just think I'm excited for the remaining games. None are going to be easy. I mean, we've proven that this year. No games are going to be givenies. I don't like the Arkansas change because does that change them in any way that might be a positive? So nothing. You can't take anything for granted in this league, but they do win, and I always take for the grain of salt, like Negative and the Heupel should be fired immediately. You got to take that kind of stuff with a grain of salt. And you're right, he doesn't really believe that. But
I love me some Negative, man. So passionate.
It's entertaining.
Just a human, and people get so triggered by him, but he's just like a raw nerve, man. That's what Negative is. He's just an exposed raw. He should be fired. You know what they should do? You should leave him on the bus.
My reply to all those people is, who are you going to replace him with? Look around. Look around in the world.
That's the point, right?
We tried that once, and it was 15-plus years in the wilderness. So be careful what you wish for.
I want to live in the playoffs, and this guy's got a high floor. It's what you want. I want to live in the playoffs, so it's a lot more football.
Would you guys agree that he has improved every year? There's still some things he needs to work on, that game management stuff. But I don't see him going backwards or not continuing to adjust and improve. His play, how he ran the team last year with what he had to work with, that shows a coach that is not resting on I'm stuck where I'm at. That shows a guy that's willing to learn, change. Bringing Chaney in as an analyst, things like that, that shows me that he works on getting better, just like he requires his team to do.
I agree with that. Yeah, thank you. Great talking to you. And I had some people. I've had several people suggest why not hiring or going to get Sam Pittman. I don't know. Is he familiar with Sam Pittman? This guy's a creature comfort guy. So I don't know. The Chaney thing, I guess, is outside of his creature comfort zone, in all fairness.
Chaney's worked for 3 different head coaches.
Yep. Chaney's Mr. Knoxville.
All except for, I guess, 4 different head coaches. Kiffin, Dooley, Pruitt, and Heupel.
Favorite thing about Chaney was that last time when they hired him, they were going back and forth on some ridiculous things, and he agreed. Let's see, who was the AD then? He got some exorbitant stuff the last time he came back. Now he's over there working for $50,000. You know what Tony Basilio has said down through the years? Bino, tell him what Tony Basilio has said down through the years about these football coaches.
They'd work for basically whatever you pay them because that's what they love to do.
And you people are making these people filthy rich for no reason. It makes no sense to me, but that's just me. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air. Hi.
Hey, Tony. What's going on, man?
Hey, Josh. Welcome in, brother.
Hey, I think Saturday was a great SEC football game. A lot of highs and lows.
Yep.
Anytime you get a win, just kind of have to soak it up a little bit and be glad to get out there with it, especially after, we could have easily lost that game.
Josh. Hey, that Mississippi State team's good, Josh. You can tell that they went out in the offseason and spent on their payroll, and that they have now I'm not sure how many games they're going to win in this league, but they have a credible football team. Like, if you put them in the Big Ten, they'd win a bunch of games, Josh.
Yeah, I'd love to have that running back. I know that.
Oh, hell yeah. I would take him. I would trade 2 of our guys for that guy.
The couple of things that I thought was unacceptable was the special teams play.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to cost you opportunity to have a playoff spot down the road. There's going to be a ton of close games in this league.
Yeah.
You cannot have that kind of special teams play, and our kicker has to get his head out of his ass, Tony. I mean, you got to go in there and hit easy kicks in this league.
Well, I was told, and I went back and watched it, that it looked like a weird kind of snap, or the snap got on the ground somehow, and then they got it finally got it up. Bino, is it okay to excuse that one, or do you agree with Josh on this, that he's got to make that kick? Which one?
Well, the one I think he's got to make is the one that you have to beat Georgia, because there was nothing wrong with anything that went on that play except for kicking the football. But yeah, he needs to he needs to get back to being a little bit more consistent like he was earlier for Tennessee. But Josh is right. We've got to sew some things up on special teams. And I understand. I guess I understand that they were trying to send a little bit of a message to Boo, who had fumbled a couple of punts. But I think we found out we need him to be our punt returner. I don't care what he did in 2 games that didn't matter.
Isn't it funny?
Going back to
go ahead, Brian.
The kicker, he's 8 of 10, which is pretty good for a college kicker, but his misses have been just huge misses.
Could have been 2 misses to lose games for you. I mean, essentially, like Josh is saying, you easily could have walked out of there having lost because he missed both those kicks.
Yeah, I don't really count the kicks in these blowout wins. I mean, I'm talking about real kicks.
That's a good point.
Pressure's there. And Tony can't muff punts. I mean, put Boo Carter back there. I agree completely with Rob Lewis. If you kept him on the team, put him in the damn game, and live with it. The play he made on defense was unbelievable. He almost killed that guy. The kid's a football player. He's a knucklehead, but he can play football. And the other thing I found unacceptable, Tony, is you got a veteran SEC official, Dave Smith, who played quarterback at Alabama, and they go on like this guy's one of the top officials in the league, and you cannot allow that call to happen. I mean, it's $1 billion product, Tony. You got to have earpieces in this guy in these guys' ears or something. That call cannot stand in an SEC football game with this much money on the line, this much, passion from all these fan bases. That call can't happen. That's unacceptable.
Matt
completely.
pointed out, and a couple callers pointed out on our Garza Law fifth quarter fan reaction, and they're right. The guy is literally 30 yards away when he made the call. If you can't get in position to make the call and you don't see it, then don't make the call. Don't make the call.
Tony, one more thing, and I'll get out of here.
His buddy ahead of the play, guys, should come in there and talk to him, and they should have picked the flag.
That's exactly right.
Because the guy who had the best view of it did not throw his flag.
And he should have walked up to him and said, "What did you see?"
Absolutely.
And you tell me what you saw, and then you look at him and go, "You didn't see what you thought you saw." I'm going to tell you something, guys. The ACC has got this thing right with the booth because they're communicating with each other. They did it Friday night during that game, and the guy in the booth told the guy on the field, "You did not see what you thought you just saw. This is the call. You're going to change the call. You're going to spot the ball here, and you're going to play football." And that's what you need to do. And you know what? That you can't. I'll tell you something about this Brazel guy. And again, I told you he doesn't have the greatest work habits in the world, and he doesn't. He is having one awesome year. Everything thrown near him, he's coming down with right now. And I'm going to tell you something. I would chunk 2 more balls his way every game till he gets out of that track because he is on a heater, an all-time heater right now. That was one incredible play.
Completely.
Incredible play. Incredible on that play. And then the catch on 4th down, where it's like behind, he does the Michael Irvin thing or the Alvin Harper back in the day with the Cowboys, one arm behind your back, pulling the ball in deal. Come on, man. I mean, that's serious now.
Hey, Tony, I've heard a lot of people say they hope Heupel learns and hope he progresses.
Sure.
I love Heupel. I appreciate what he's brought to the program. It's so much fun now compared to what we went through.
Yep.
But the biggest thing on whether this guy's going to learn is he falls in love with these highly ranked recruits that have the huge arms and all the physical tools when he is clearly, we are so much better when he ends up with a guy who has a lot of moxie, who has a lot of ability to process things, may not have the best arm in the world, but can make plays and doesn't get, doesn't get rattled or doesn't overthink stuff.
Yep.
And I'm afraid we're going down the same road again with this big time recruit that's coming in when we could easily take all that extra money and invest it in some other areas of the team who need improvement, like safety and outside linebacker. And Tony, I think that's the biggest thing with Heupel. All it takes is a good quarterback. It don't take no a once-in-a-lifetime guy. He just needs good quarterback play. And if he continues to do that, Tony, we're going to be there every year. I have no doubt. But anyway, I'm glad we got out there to win. I listened to you guys. I listened to a lot of the callers. I was emotional too and pissed at times, but man, the game's changed. It's more of an NFL product, Tony, and you got to take road wins when you get them. So
thank you, my brother.
Keep it going. See you guys.
Speaking of road wins, Brian, share that number on Heupel right now because it's pretty illustrative of what's going on across the sport.
Well,
go ahead, Brian.
I think Heupel sort of gets a bad rap because he's won 8 SEC road games since 21.
Yep.
But half of those road wins have come at either Vanderbilt or Kentucky, which every coach wins road games at Vanderbilt and Kentucky, even ones that aren't very good. So I think he sort of gets a bad rap. And the 4 non-Vandy Kentucky road wins were 21 at Missouri, 22 at LSU, 24 at Oklahoma, and Mississippi State the other day. I think the best one was probably LSU, but some of those road losses, Arkansas for one, have been very costly. The South Carolina game was very costly. So I think a lot of it's, he's 8-9, which is good, but a lot of folks just won't say, hey, look, they're not going to give him credit because half of those road wins were at Kentucky and Vandy.
Bino, is that cheese?
Which right now, you win at Vandy is I think that's probably a pretty good road win considering.
Oh, yeah, they're formidable right now. Bino, is that a fair thing, the fair way of looking at Heupel? I think that's kind of cheese moving, like to say, you go to Oklahoma and you beat them and they weren't really that good. Well, you still had to beat them. You went to LSU and beat them that year and they weren't that good. Well, you were the one that showed they weren't that good. I mean, you were the reason they went into a tailspin.
Yeah, I think all of those are, especially LSU and Oklahoma, are really, really solid road wins, regardless of what happened to them later in the season, because teams later in the season were playing a different team than we played the night that we played.
And on Josh's phone call, Bino, one thought, okay? If I knew that my head coach could identify a Joe versus a pro, then I'd say by all means do that. This guy hasn't shown he can identify a quarterback that can play in his system in the SEC. And I think he's very good. Like I said earlier, I think he's a very good coach. He's not great. Like if you were ranking him in the country right now, he's like a top 15, 16, 17 coach, somewhere in that neighborhood. Pretty good. I mean, if you made a list, I'm sure that's probably where he would end up, which is good. I mean, hell, that's a lot better than we've been doing. And so the weirdest thing about him, though, is I don't know that he could identify, because I would say do that. If I could find me somebody comparable or commensurate to this Aguilar guy, Bino, annually, I say that's the way you ought to manage your budget when you have this offense. Do we agree on that? I wouldn't even fool around with a Faison Brandon, because I'm not sure how much he's going to add to you. Because this guy is really good, this guy we have. You could win it all with this guy if you put enough players around him, I believe.
Yeah, Tony, I guess the opposite side of the coin is you'd have to hit every year if that's what you did.
That's my point, yeah.
Every time you would have to hit.
Yeah, that's my point.
I think you have to kind of use those guys as space holders. The problem with trying to find a space holder is now the young kids won't stay anywhere if they don't play the first year that you bring them into your program. A lot of them won't.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
So they won't stay here long enough to be the guy that we would take 2 years, 3 years later.
That's why Oregon is just out there.
It's a hard balance. But I mean, those guys at Oregon are good football players. It's not like they were stiffs.
You're right.
That came out of nowhere.
You're right.
These guys were highly rated, thought of quarterbacks that went somewhere else first.
You know what I wonder? I wonder if Nico would have left in December when he should have left, for his sake and for ours, who we would have ended up with. That would have been very interesting. Back to the phones we go, because you're almost to the point with Tennessee where you can't count on this Brandon guy till he signs. You better have a list, all these schools. You better have a list on who your quarterback's going to be next year from other starting quarterbacks around the league. We heard C the other day on our Thursday show talk about how he knows somebody on a staff in the league that's making a list. And he went through like the top 9 quarterbacks that are gettable out there, and none of them are SEC guys. Is that right, Bri? Or was there one SEC guy on that list? Do you remember, Brian?
Yeah, I think there may have been one at the most that were on the list, but one of those guys on that list got benched over the weekend, Eli Goldstein at Pitt.
Back to and that just shows to show you. But again, that Goldstein guy, somebody will take him, and he's in Nico's class. He was like number 13 in Nico's class. I'm so sick with the whole Nico class thing that I know that guy was like number 11 or number 12 that year. I almost have that list memorized. I've looked at it so much. It's so bad.
I think LSU that year went on to play. They beat Alabama later on, and they played for the SEC championship against Georgia.
There you go. So I guess that was a quality win, Bri.
That's the best win. That's probably the best road win he's had.
For you hypo haters out there.
One thing I completely agree with you on, though, Tony, is in these days of roster budget management, I would certainly not put a huge amount of my budget that I have on an unproven player.
Look, I'm not talking to James Clausen every day. I don't know. I like James. Those are good people, okay? And what's going south, people were blaming them for the recruiting earlier, and it's like these guys are doing a great job raising the money. Leave those guys alone. My thing is, why would I take $2 million in this Brandon kid and put it on the bench next year? Now, that's an honest, real-world thing that we can say to each other as fans, because that's a waste of money. They spent $4 million on Nico. Bino, do you think that's a good expenditure of money?
Well, obviously not. But
totally pissing your money away. That's all that is.
I know I probably would have done exactly the same thing at the time they did it.
Sure. We were all excited. I was on here calling the guy Michael Vick last year before the season started. It's embarrassing. By the way, Arkansas has just fired 2 defensive assistants today, and I bet they've improved on defense. Literally the most non-competitive, this side of UAB, the most non-competitive defensive performance I've ever seen in my life in that first half the other day. I watched a little bit of it, and then I was watching in my car while I was driving because I was going down to Calhoun's on the river to get Laura and I some takeout, and she was back here doing taxes, so I had to get out of here before she was going to absolutely wring my pencil neck. And I flipped on Arkansas's radio network. I don't know who their color commentator is, but he was apoplectic at how out of position, how non-competitive they were. And, Brian, what's the stat on Arkansas over the weekend in the first half? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, listen to this.
They gave up 28 points without getting Notre Dame to third down only one time.
And then Notre Dame went out when they were absolutely trucking them. And I don't know who Sam Pittman, what he did to Notre Dame's head coach, but they faked a punt on him. The guy's losing by like 5 touchdowns, and they faked a punt on him. I mean, what in the world? What'd the guy do to you? Steal your girlfriend at some point in your life? Like get in your wife's DMs? I mean, what? Bino, why would you do that to a guy that's getting ready to get fired? I mean, come on, man. Yeah. Come on, Freeman. Yeah. And if I'm Freeman, I go to my special teams guy and I go, why did you just do that? Or the punter, why did you just do that? We're beating the hell out of these people. Let's go to the phone.
Let's save it for a game we need.
Yes. Hello and welcome in. You're on our Monday after the TLD Logistics phone lines are open. Hi.
Hey, Tona, Bobby.
Welcome in.
To be brief, I think the reason they did that, I actually think Freeman probably called it. They have to whip their fannies because they've already got 2 L's. They have to beat an SEC team mercilessly to have a chance at making the playoffs. I think they did that intentionally.
Yeah, but
I think they wanted to mercy kill them.
That SEC team?
I'm just saying what I'm saying.
Arkansas can't play.
No, they can't. But it's an SEC win, and they don't have any quality. They have one opportunity to quality win this year, and it's USC, who got beat by what I would consider a moribund Illinois team.
Yeah, it was really odd result.
So, I mean, C called it, I believe. Actually, I think C said that.
Not really though.
I think
Illinois.
I think that was Brian.
They're not as bad as Indiana made them look.
Our guys on the Dos Equis Winners and Losers program have made a point of finding these teams that come east. These West Coast teams, they're not faring well in that league a year and a half in. It's not going well.
Especially if they're given points.
Well, it doesn't matter. They're just not faring well.
Okay. Interesting. Well, can I just send out some commendations, Tony? Commendations to Nega Dave on the commitment to the bit. I'll commit to a bit once in a while, Tony, but his commitment to the bit is incredible because there's no way he believes that. You've said that, but there's no way he believes.
Oh, no, he 100% believes it. He was on hold earlier the other day. When you talked to that guy off the air, no, he believes it. He's a raw nerve.
Well, then I there's counseling services out there for people like him that I would suggest. There's great ones around town. Tony, we're mental health advocates around here. I think you would agree. Then he probably has a mental illness of some sort. So I digress because I thought it was always a bit, but apparently it's not. In what world can you potentially say Josh Heupel and Butch Jones are the same guy? Could not believe that came out of his mouth.
I mean, Bino, could you imagine ever thinking that, let alone saying that?
No, Tony. I don't think there's a smidgen of a comparison between those two guys.
Does he believe that Derek Dooley is a better coach than Josh Heupel? Because if he believes what he said, then because I believe Derek Dooley is a better football coach than Butch Jones. Butch Jones had a better collection of talent. Also, Butch Jones took over a much better situation than Josh Heupel. Let's not forget, guys, this is year 5, and we had that yokel from Alabama in here, and he set our car on fire, then drove it off a cliff into the ocean. It was bad. I don't have any explanation for that.
Here's the thing about Butchie Boy that I love, who got beat over the weekend, and the Arkansas State fans are learning this. He is a diminishing returns coach the longer he goes, because there's no doubt he's already lost his team, and they're sick of hearing him because they know he's a fraud. But he's the same guy, Brian, when you said everybody wins at Vanderbilt, I almost stopped you. Because he lost a game at Vanderbilt on a Saturday night when all the Vols had to do was win, and they're in the Sugar Bowl for the first time in a generation, Bri. And they got blowed out in that game, if you guys will remember that.
He lost a game at Kentucky, too.
There you go. So
that 11 game?
Let's not compare this guy to that guy.
No, that was a different game. I digress on that one. Here's the end of the results, Tony. I agree with you on Joey Aguilar. He's not great, but he's very good.
Yeah.
I like the sentiment that we could go out and find another Joey Aguilar. This time, maybe give him more than 90 days to learn the offense. That'd be kind of cute. Can you imagine how good we'd be if he had 180 days to learn the offense? And I'm no longer on the let's bash Nico train. I think that kid's it's not even his fault anymore. And lastly, who had a worse weekend? Gunnar Stockton's Heisman Trophy candidacy, or the U.S. Having to give up a half a point for a guy getting a withdrawal? Shouldn't they have just withdrawn 5 players and called it a cup? See ya.
No, I agree with that. I think that would have been, if that thing would have ended up tied, that was going to be one of the greatest sports controversies ever. And if the U.S. would have come back and won yesterday, that would have been one of the biggest gag jobs in the history of mankind. And I'm talking in the history of mankind. I think the odds of that thing, Bino, at one point were like 4,000 to 1. Some crazy thing. Or 400 to 1, like the live odds at one point. And then it was 5 to 1 there at the very end, when there were 3 matches still going on. That was going to be one of the great melt jobs in the history of the world, part 1, 2, and 3. And shame on those people in New York for the way they treated Rory McIlroy and his family. And if you're one of them and you're listening to me, you're a damn disgrace and an embarrassment to our country. This lack of civility in our society right now toward other people has got to stop. Has got to stop, man. Just because you wear a different uniform than I do doesn't mean I get to throw stuff at you and intimidate your wife and act like a damn Florida fan back in the 90s. Which, ironically enough, maybe it's not ironically, is where a lot of those Florida undergrads come from, that area. Because those people up there, Bino, that cheer for your Yankees are a bunch of damn animals. That's what they are. No offense to them. There's
Tony,
no place for that.
I'm a Yankee. I'm a Yankee fan, but I'm not a Yankee fan.
Just like I can't stand the Eagle fan base that does that, and I've said it on here. I don't think there's any place in this world for treating somebody like when the Viking fans. You talk about committing to the bit. The Sixers used to have a guy who was a Redskin fan, and he played for, I think his name's Mike Scott, I think is who it was. Big, huge forward. Some little Rocky, some little sawed-off punk, Bino, tried to square off at him at a tailgate. Mike Scott would have beaten this guy into like 2027 somewhere, and that was about 3 or 4 years ago. All because Mike Scott had a Redskin jersey on.
It's like the guy in Kentucky that tried to go at Clay.
It's exactly what it was. It's what it looked like.
That being said, Tony, regardless of the region of the country we live in, we could all use a refresher course in decency.
Exactly. Hello and welcome into our next call. You are on our Monday edition. Hi.
Hey, Tom, it's Rusty.
Hey, Rusty.
Hey, brother. Got 5 things. 1, this is just food for thought for everybody.
I'll tell you what, Rusty, stay right there. I'm off my clock. Stay right there. And you give me your food for thought. We continue. I'll let him have the floor. And then we'll do it. It's our Monday edition. No Josh Heupel this week. We can stretch out our legs and enjoy our second hour after this.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted grade A grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the Volunteer State by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof, T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Distributed by Athens Distributing Company. Please drink responsibly. Basilio here. No one does it like Alumni Hall. I'm here to tell you, living ball fan, only one place that's the best place to shop for Tennessee gear, and that's Alumni Hall. The best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands like Nike and Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar. Load up on hats, accessories, Yeti, all your tailgating necessities. Download the Alumni Hall app, click account, and it'll tell you how much Hall cash you've earned. You earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Alumni Hall, with physical locations in Murfreesboro, Bristol, and 3 locations in Knoxville, now open in Johnson City. Pop into Alumni Hall and get ready and tell them Tony B sent you. When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio Show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hop online and I'm gonna get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our gold bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama Zizi approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and Zizi.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
Before we get back to the phones, and as promised, Rusty, a quick legal.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340. WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
Hour 2, the incomparable William Pattison will be joining us coming up. But let's get Rusty back in here. Rusty, thank you for your patience. Welcome back in with the cast and crew on a Josh Heupel free Monday, and you're on the air. Welcome in.
Thanks, brother. I don't mind a bit. I appreciate the latitude. First thing, or the last thing is, it's a story about fans throwing stuff that is hilarious, in my opinion. I've told people they love it, so that's what I want to talk about at the end. First off, just for the food for thought thing is this one thing: is Faison Brandon JKS out at Cal as a freshman, or is he DJ Ungozole or Nico Iamaliava? Is he one of those guys, or is he the JKS kid at Cal? Because I'm for the portal quarterback. But is he that kid at Cal that's unbelievable and can throw the ball as a true freshman as good as anybody there is? And the answer to the question is none of us know, including every coach in the country. You just don't know. So maybe it's worth it, maybe it's not. But until you get kids on campus, you just don't know. And that's the food for thought thing.
Yeah. He didn't have the greatest game against San Diego State. Something happened there.
He's playing with a Cal team that's horribly untalented, but he is legit. He's an absolute stud. If every game that team wins, it's on his shoulders.
Well, I think the biggest problem today, Rusty, is I don't care how good you are in high school. Most every kid or whatever their star rating is, most every kid that comes in needs some time to get ready to play college football, especially in the SEC, the Big Ten, Power Four conferences. And very few of them today are willing to take that time. They want to play right now.
There's a learning curve. And getting a kid that's already played a bunch of football somewhere else and taking the lumps is an advantage. I think the portal's the right way to go, but sometimes you can get a kid that's elite. My point is really nobody knows until you get kids on campus.
Right.
None of us do. None of the coaches do. Two things on the game. One is we're not running the ball enough. I know Greg lost his mind about running the ball up the middle too much, blah, blah, blah. We're not running it enough. We got the ball inside their 25-yard line on 2 drives where first, second, and third down we threw the ball. Both drives did not move the sticks and settled for field goals. We're not staying committed to the run enough. Secondly, about the game, the refs convened. The ref that threw the flag and the ref that was much closer to the penalty convened for about 25, 30 seconds on the PI, and the ref that threw the flag convinced the other one that he was right.
Well, that's interesting. I didn't see him convene.
Yeah, I saw it on the All-22. My point on this is, in real time, it looks like PI. In real times, I understand why refs throw flags. Coaches need to be allowed a challenge on plays like that. We can see it really quickly on replay that wasn't PI, and the booth can look at it and tell the ref, hey, we're giving you an assisted replay real quick that it wasn't PI, it needs to be waved off. And the Wake Forest coach deserves to also challenge that offsides call not being called that decided the Georgia Tech Wake Forest game. If we can review so many things, reviewing whether a guy's in the neutral zone or not, or reviewing whether pass interference did in fact occur, let coaches one or two times a ball game in a really big moment say, hey, you should look at this. It's a judgment call. Let the person who has slow motion be the judge, not the person who's watching this in real time from 30 yards away.
If there's a scoring play on a touchdown and there's something like that happens, it should be automatically reviewed.
I agree with that, Brian. That
was a scoring,
and that was a scoring play. That's a
but
really
it's taboo
great point.
It's taboo to replay judgment calls. Why? It's still a judgment call by the booth, and they have a better look at it. So that's my
Brian,
thing on the ball
you
game.
guys, that's an interesting point you bring up, both of you, because we're getting ready in baseball to go to this thing where I'm going to tap my hat if I'm a pitcher or catcher. And I saw this in real time when I was at spring training, and the replay is so instantaneous. There's no reason the guy from upstairs can't buzz down and go, hey, let's look at that call. And it'll take 10 seconds to look at that. They could have gotten that right in about 30 seconds.
Yep. But, hey, you can't overrule somebody's judgment. That's the thing, and we should be overruling guy's judgment who's watching in real time.
I would think that guy wants to get it right, Rusty, because that guy today feels
He's
like
getting crucified.
He feels like a damn fool. Yes.
Yeah, and the poor guys in the Wake Forest Georgia Tech game, those guys are going to get suspended for messing that up.
Yes.
I don't want to rehash the Georgia game. I'm disappointed, but I've been screaming about the fact that Banks ruined that ball game for us because we played man too much against a quarterback that can't throw against zone. Womack at Alabama played zone and then some more zone, and then he played even more zone, and he made Stockton look so bad throwing the football on passing downs. Stockton cannot attack zones, and we gave him man-to-man coverage in big moments, time after time, and made it easy on him. Because he's really, really good at just attacking you when you give him a clear picture. That guy's guarding that guy. And Alabama said, no, we've seen the tape. We've seen what Marshall and Austin Peay did to you when they dropped 8 guys into a big zone, and you can't throw against it. And Banks, for whatever reason, did the opposite. And it cost us the ball game.
All right, and give me the thought on the crowd issue.
So this is 2001 South Carolina game in Neyland. Me and my best friend in the world, best man at my wedding, played tight end with me played a tight end for me in high school. If you think I'm a big dude, this is a freak show of a dude, and 10 times more athletic than most human beings on earth. He and I are together. We're sitting with Tennessee crowd, but we're right up against the South Carolina crowd, who's kind of below us where the overhang is, or where there's a separation between where their band is and their crowd is kind of in front of them, and they're below us.
Yep.
And the game is close all night. It's the coldest game I've ever been to, I think. Lou's the coach at South Carolina still, and we end up winning a close one. Mm-hmm. And their fans have our cheerleaders down in front of them, in front of where their band section is, that area of the stadium. Mm-hmm. And they have gotten big ice cubes. And I guess they've kept them in cups, let it freeze together, and they're throwing large chunks of ice at our cheerleaders.
Wow.
And me and my buddy are losing our mind about it. And we're above them a little bit, like I said, but still kind of beside them, but elevated. Our sections are separated by a fence or a wall or whatever. And I'm like, we got to do something. We got to get their attention away from throwing these pieces of ice. So I grab a box of popcorn that somebody had left on the ground, and I just open the box and swing the box without, but I hold on to the box so all the popcorn comes flying out of it, and it rains popcorn down on them, just trying to distract them from acting the fools and bring their attention to us. And I do that, and it just is a nice, pretty shower. Nobody's getting hurt, but it enrages them. And they're ready to climb that wall and come after me and my buddy. And there's still a lot of fans around us. And this husband and wife that are behind me with kids who have been talking to us all ball game, sweet as they could be. I turn around and look at them, and I said, I need something else. And I turn back around, and I'm looking at the car because they're trying to come after us. And my buddy's ready to fight, and I'm like, okay, whatever, I guess we'll do this. And I look back at her, and she goes, here, take this. This sweet lady, probably 50 at the time, handed me an empty Jack Daniels bottle.
Let's go.
And I set it down as quick as I could, and I said, you know what, man, let's get the hell out of here.
That's a great idea. When I'm picking up something glass or considering picking up something glass to throw at you, it might be time for us to go.
Hey, where was Dave Ubbins' article then about how fans are throwing stuff onto the field at cheerleaders? Where was the article?
Thank you, Rusty. It was a figment in God's eye. Thank you, Rusty.
It didn't happen?
No. Ubbins only pointed out that Tennessee
fans do that only? I mean, okay. We're glad we know that.
Of course, Vicky Fulmer got accosted, threatened in a tunnel at Georgia, and the AD just kind of looked the other way back in the 90s. Why? Well, because because Florida was winning, and I mean, when you're winning and everything's kind of going your way, it doesn't really matter, but when you're on the other side of it, and good decision, Rusty. I remember, guys, I was talking about this the other day. Do you guys remember in the old Metropolitan Stadium that Cowboy in the 70s? Bino, you'll remember this. Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, rather, the Cowboys were playing the Minnesota Vikings in the old Metropolitan Stadium, and Drew Pearson pushed off on a touchdown right corner of the end zone to create the separation, and no referee called it. And the Cowboys scored what was a definitive touchdown in the game, late in the game to, I think, win the game. And somebody threw a bottle out of the stands. A bottle. That's what people brought to those games back in the day. A bottle. Looked like a milk bottle almost. It hit that line judge in the head and basically knocked him out on the field. You got to be really careful, man, at these games. You got to be, like Rusty said, sometimes you got to check your head and walk away.
There was a game at a Giant stadium, and the Giant fans were throwing snowballs on the field.
Yeah.
Well, a cameraman caught one guy clearly he was taking pictures of it, and just happened to have an image that was clear of this one guy throwing a snowball. And they got the guy, nobody else got caught, but this guy, they actually sent it to the proper whoever they sent him to, and they actually got a hold of the guy and prosecuted him or something.
Wow.
And he wasn't the only one throwing stuff, but he got caught, and so they prosecuted him.
In his neighborhood, they call that guy the biggest loser. Because you got to be a damn loser to be in the middle of a group of people throwing snowballs, and you're the one that gets singled out. That's like a friend of mine was a state cop forever and ever, and he said people would say to him, but everybody, they would go, you're going like 82 and a 55, and he'd go, yeah, but so was everybody else. And he goes, yeah? And? I mean, you're going 82 and a 55, Chief. Hello and welcome into our next call. You are on our Monday edition here. TLD Logistics phone lines are open. Hi.
Hey, guys, Dave.
Hey, there he is, catching strays, Dave.
Dave.
I didn't say that Josh Heupel was Butch Jones. Just like I said, he was slightly above Butch Jones. Slightly. That's what I said.
Bino, you like this guy?
I never said he was exactly like Butch Jones.
Slightly above him, just kind of slightly, Dave.
And so far,
Dave.
He's slightly. But okay, that's all right.
Dave, I'm back to this. Dave, I'm back to this, and I'm not gonna fight with you, Dave.
That guy.
Dave, you don't mean that. You don't mean that, Dave.
I'll get to that phone call, that guy, a couple phone calls ago at the very end of this conversation.
Yeah.
Our starting quarterback next year is going to be Joey Aguilar. He's going to get another year of eligibility.
Now that's
you think so, Dave?
That's breaking news.
Oh, I know he is.
You know he is?
His situation is exactly like Diego Pavia. He played 2 years of junior college football. This is his third year of D1 football. Same as Diego Pavia.
I never even thought about
that. That's true. Has that been resolved though?
That is if you look it up right now, if you type in Does Joey Aguilar have another year eligibility in 2026? It'll tell you he does, and he'll win that court case, and he will be our quarterback.
That was my question. That second court case has not yet been resolved. Is that true?
The Pavia case has not been resolved, Bino.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is Pavia would get another year. What I'm saying right now is Joey Aguilar is still 1 year short of where Pavia is right now. This is Pavia's fourth year at D1. Pavia had 2 years of junior college, and he had 2 years at New Mexico State, and this is his second year of at Vanderbilt. Joey Aguilar had 2 years junior college. This is his third year at D1 ball. 2 years at App, 1 year at Tennessee. He's going to get the fourth year. I'm serious. I thought, the guy that's close to his wife works down there.
Basketball.
Yep. Said he's definitely going to be back next year.
That's breaking news. I'll tell you this. I'd take him back next year. Would you be?
Yes.
And that's exactly what they said.
Absolutely.
They said it's going to run off McIntyre. It's going to run off Merklanger, and they know it, and it doesn't matter.
I would take him back.
Brandon, the freshman will be your backup quarterback. Yeah, absolutely. You can't. Listen. There's no guarantee that McIntyre, as his second year, is going to be able to run that offense.
Oh no, they like him a lot, but again, the guys they like, I'm kind of doing this. I'm a little, but they do like him. I mean, I can report that to you. They like him a lot.
I mean, what would you rather have? A 19 or 20-year-old quarterback starting next year, or a 25-year-old man that that can run the system? It's a no-brainer.
You imagine,
Bino? Easy decision.
Bino, you imagine if that kid came back and they went. Let's say they go like. Let's say I'm wrong and they go 10-2. Okay, make a playoff. We go 10-2. Bino, can you imagine the amount of endorsements that kid will get in the offseason around here? That could set him up for the rest of his life.
Imagine him in that home schedule, all the excitement in the offseason.
Oh, my God.
Building up.
Yeah, and Philly just texted me, and he's right. Is the question now is, can Joey go make some money in the NFL?
No.
Because all of a sudden, people are talking about him being drafted.
I don't buy that.
Now that would be the only, but that'd be the only thing reason he wouldn't be back is if he decides to go to the draft.
If I were him, I would stay. If I had a choice, I'd stay here for the sure thing.
Because he can make a lot of money next year here.
That'll make. Here's what I'm not for, guys. If he's eligible, I want him back. But that would be his sixth year of college football. Is that correct?
Correct, because
he went somewhere before he went to junior college. Then he goes to junior college.
No, Brian. No, Bino. He started at California Junior College because he was off. I believe the story is that he was off for a year. He was doing something, contracting or painting or whatever, and then he went to that junior college, Bino, for 2 seasons.
His situation is
so
exactly
he went somewhere and then left there and then went back to junior college. Is that correct?
That's
because he was somewhere before he went to the junior college.
2 junior colleges. That's right. Because he couldn't get anybody to give him a sniff. He was an unranked player.
Yeah.
He played 2 years of junior college ball, and he's played. And this is his third year of D1. Pavia,
so next year will be his 6th year that he's played.
Correct. Just like Pavia.
And this is Pavia.
That's too many years of college football, guys. I hope we get him back. 5 is what they should have.
Here he is, the damn Grinch that stole Christmas, Dave, over here.
Nobody should get to play 6 years of college.
I want damn Joey football back. Bino's on a high horse, Dave.
I want him back, but I don't think
done it for
6 years of college football is good for college football.
Pavia's done it for 2 years. Why isn't it good for college football?
I know. And fine, Tony. You just told the story about the trooper. That don't make it right.
Here's the thing, Hey, Jeff, here's the thing. This coach of ours is not having an easy time finding a quarterback to fit his system. He's
been fortunate with the two guys that fit it. That is correct. That's correct.
He has absolutely lucked out on the two guys that fit it.
Good. I'll take luck.
Yeah, I mean, so if Joey wants to come back, and it runs off the other guy, I'm sorry. I mean, I know this guy can run the. It doesn't matter what the star rating is. He gets the ball out to where it needs to go, and we use the entire field.
Yes, they're using the whole. In fact, they came out in that pro stuff the other day. In another league game, Bino, the tight splits and the pro stuff. They were back in the pro stuff again.
Yeah, they on Bishop's touchdown run. They were in the tight with two tight ends.
Oh, I love that power formation with that freshman blocking out in front of that. That's some beautiful football there. That overtime run, that was beautiful, man.
All right, now I just want to end.
Dave, I was thinking, and I didn't hear your call, Dave, to the post-game show, but I was thinking that you and I are never, ever going to be on the same page when it comes to evaluating quarterbacks. And it's because you'll take a magnifying glass and find a blemish on Miss Universe, whereas I'll sift through the rubble of a tsunami to find one little keepsake. I don't think either one of them are the correct way to evaluate a coach. I think Josh Heupel would absolutely hate for you to be his boss. And after a few years, the Tennessee football fans would hate for me to be his boss. So somewhere in the middle of what you and I do is the correct way to evaluate a coach.
Jeff, I'm just concerned with his decision making in the Georgia game and this game in year 5.
Never ends.
I don't disagree with that, Dave, but I think that this guy is as I said, I think he's a really smart football coach and a good self-evaluator. And I think he's a guy that's going to improve in those areas as he goes along.
The last thing I want to say is the caller a couple of callers ago calling me mentally ill. I'm a 62-year-old man, and I really don't care what a young man that grew up in the participation trophy generation and has, and young man, say to the 60-year-old man's face, not on a sports talk radio show. Y'all have a good day.
Maybe we'll have a negative Roberto in the pit as part of the Oklahoma weekend. But, we'll put a mud pit down there for the Sooner weekend.
Well, that's been a classic weekend for us to go kind of off the board.
What are we doing here? Listen, guys, I am a divider. A uniter, not a...
There you go.
I'm a uniter, not a divider. And y'all need to, in the great words of John Lennon, you need to come together right now under me. And both of you need to heal and relax. All right? Both of y'all need to just kind of chill. Because we love you. We're for you, not against you. All right? Aye. Right? Right? You with me here?
Aye.
Thank you.
I'm 40.
Okay.
I loved when that I couldn't figure out where that dude got I. And then I started hearing Saban, the way Saban says it. And that Jeremy Pruitt just patterned himself after Saban. It's so obvious what he did. His speech, No, Jeremy, it's not. Actually, it's not I. No. Actually, it's not I. We go back to our phones. And, God, Dave from the top rope, man. Mark the tape. 865-200-5402. I'll tell you what we need to do. My instincts tell me it's time to cool things off as we do that after this.
Guests appear on the TLD Logistics Hotline. Online at tldlogistics.com.
Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company-paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a two-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted Grade A Grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Fall officially begins this month, so now is the perfect time to make sure your home's HVAC system is ready for the season ahead. Don't ignore the warning signs that your heating or cooling system is struggling or nearing the end of its lifespan. And if you need fast, reliable HVAC repairs, seasonal preventative maintenance, or want to invest in a new high-efficiency system, then call the trusted HVAC experts at Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Whatever HVAC problems you encounter, our certified technicians will make a full assessment and then provide the best long-term solution to keep your home comfortable again all year long. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. Be sure to ask about our 10-plus year warranties that are 2 times longer than industry standards so you don't spend a cent on unexpected costs in the future. So call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morse here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field, 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first night of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight.
So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club team started at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we're the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our tryouts last night. Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care, I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
When it's past high noon, it's time for a vodka soda made with a vodka you've actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw vodka soda made with White Claw premium vodka. JB Smooth only drinks vodka soda made with the world's smoothest vodka.
And you can too. Pick you up a bottle of the triple wave filtered vodka that's been distilled 5 times. White Claw premium vodka comes in 4 flavors: black cherry, mango, pineapple, and just vodka. You haven't had vodka like this. No one has. White Claw Premium Vodka. Please drink responsibly.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
One item of business before we go back to our phones, and we will do some TLD Logistics Overdrive, overtime today. I don't know how much, because we were on like 5.5 hours the other day after the deal, and you know, literally, you can get pretty burnt to a crisp. As Bino and I were just talking off the air, not that you care about that because people work for a living and I'm not. But I want to shout out the great Mike in Portland who sent me a gift box, sent us a gift box, I should say. I'm going to turn my camera on for these boys so they can see this. Boys, check this out. Look how beautiful that is. Portland Timbers, established 1975, Mike in Portland. Hey, Mike in Portland, I will be rocking that. I promise you, I'll be rocking that, playing some music with my orange shirt on over it. And you fire me up, focus me, and prepared me, Mike in Portland. And he also sent us some other goodies. So, Brian, when you come in here, make sure you go through here and get some goodies. He also sent us some Victory cigars. Mike, the 85 Sugarval team is going to be, they're going to be doing a deal for them prior to the Arkansas game. Hopefully we'll get a couple of those guys out on the deck at Calhoun's on the River for the Tony Robinson's supposed to come into town, but I'm going to share your Victory cigars with those guys and with the fans that are out there for the Arkansas weekend. And we'll be playing music the night of the Arkansas weekend as well. So go ahead, Brian, then we go to the phones.
It's interesting how the teams they had to play against in the SEC, you have home games against Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Georgia, who they didn't have to face in their career, I don't think, that year, which it almost as if maybe I guess you have to do it on the year, but you'd want a game like somebody they had to beat at home maybe to kind of commiserate that. It'd be even better.
Yeah, in a perfect world,
be even better.
In a perfect world, Auburn would have been on the schedule this year, you know?
Yeah, playing them.
Back to the phones we go. And after watching them over the weekend, that's another coach that might not survive the season when you look at their schedule. Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on the air.
How my French compatriots doing today?
There he is.
You there, Tony?
Doing great, buddy. Go for it.
I'm glad to hear that about the 85 Sugar Bowl team. I'm going to try to get a hold of Marco Vanek. I hadn't talked to him in a long time.
Why don't you get that clown down there? I want to hug his neck. I want to hug his meaty neck.
Yeah, and
is he still living in Virginia? Is Vanek still in Virginia?
Yes, he's in the Charlottesville area.
There you go. I'd have hooked my son up with him. I didn't realize that.
So,
is he still doing the financial game?
I'm not sure, Tony. I've heard different stories, so I don't want to say anything on the air, but I'm not. He's doing well. I know that, but I'm not quite sure what he's doing.
There are so many guys off that team. I was asking Johnny Majors about that one time that became either coaches or leaders in their communities. He said, not surprising. Not surprising.
And I did on the baseball porch just see Phil Stewart and Bruce Wilkerson.
Oh,
so,
man.
Hopefully a lot of those guys will be there, but it's funny because I wanted to start my call off with a quote from Ben Bird from the 1985 season. Mm-hmm. And we beat Wake Forest 31-29, which nobody probably remembers. But he said in the great Knoxville Journal, the late great Ben Bird said, that's the kind of game we would have lost in the past few years. And we found a way to win. And that's exactly what this Mississippi State game was. We found a way to win somehow with all the crazy stuff that happened. And wouldn't you all agree? I said in July I'd be happy with 4-1 at the open date. I'm happy with 4-1 at the open date.
You got it, brother. You're speaking the truth, man.
And another quote from Coach Majors, you know, we gave away 7 points early in the kicking game. We missed a field goal. That's minus 10 points. They faked a punt. We blew that. But we got a smash grab and a defensive TD. Majors used to talk about offense, defense, special teams. If you have stick-to-itiveness, that's a special team because they pick up each other. There's no finger pointing. Joey Football on that touchdown run, that man was going to lower his head if he had to and ram through 2 players to score. And that is stick-to-itiveness, as Coach Majors would say. Wouldn't you all agree?
Bino?
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it, W. Lynn. As I watched the game, when they faked the punt and ran it for a touchdown, I thought we're going to get beat.
You mean a first down?
And then Tennessee's defense makes a play and takes the – then when that kid made the terrific play for them to score the touchdown that put them ahead 27-20 or whatever it was, or 37-30, whatever it was, when he made that play down the sideline where he leaped and extended the ball and scored, I thought we were going to get beat again. And Tennessee takes the ball and drives it 75 yards and scores a touchdown. So the best thing we did Saturday was play through our own errors.
Yes. And that's what you got to do. I mean, you can look at any great team. Ohio State last year, in their final home game, had a 6-5 Michigan team come into their stadium and beat them. And they won the national title. This is a tournament sport now.
Yep.
I'm not worried about SEC championships. I'm worried about getting in the tournament and advancing.
You're right. Preach it, baby. Preach it.
And Negative, look, if you're I'm in my late 60s. In our 50s and late 60s, we just have senior moments. Bino might agree with this. We're not mentally ill, are we, Bino? Isn't it just kind of senior moments?
No, I think I think Negative's a nut job.
That's my hope. That's my hope.
I think Negative's a nut job, personally.
Yeah. But I tell my daughter, who's a mental health counselor, honey, it's just a senior moment. Please don't call the men in the white coat. I'm okay.
Thank you, W. Lynn. Great call. Unbelievable, Andy. Back to the phones we go on our TLD Logistics phone lines on a Monday. Hi, you're on the air. Welcome in.
It's Rod in Clarksville.
Hey, Rod. Good to hear your voice, brother, in beautiful Clarksville.
Hey, Tony B. I really think Negative had a great call.
Really?
I really think that. Yeah, I really think he kind of, bounced back and, fessed up. And I think it was a good call. I really do.
Do you believe that Joey Football, are you inclined to believe, Rod, as a close watcher of this stuff, do you believe that Joey Football could be here for more than 1 year? Is that a possibility?
Well, this is what I'm going to say about that, Tony B. I believe that if our state legislator will let little brother, as in Vandy, allow that to happen, why wouldn't they let big brother allow that?
Well, it was actually the courts. It doesn't have anything to do with other states. And what happened was his court case got hung up, and for some reason it never got heard. That's a correct read on that, right, Bino? I never saw what the final was on that. Now, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember seeing a resolution to that back in the summer. I still think that's up in the air.
Tony. I thought it was two separate. Court cases, but I could be wrong about that too. I have no clue.
You talking about for Pavia?
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting.
I thought one he was granted, and then he went back to try to get an additional year, but I don't know that that's right.
Now I got to go back and I got to deep dive into Pavia now, because in a lot of ways, if you're Tennessee and you found this guy, in a lot of ways, you almost have to see it through, don't you? Don't you almost have to see it through if you're the Vols, Bino?
Well, I think if he's granted another year of eligibility and he wants to come back, he's earned the right to have it.
I agree. Yep.
And I wouldn't be too worried about what someone behind him was going to do. Someone that's unproven is going to do.
No, as we've seen, the thing that we believe about Heupel's offense is that anybody can do it. The thing we've seen here, Rod, so far is that's not true in terms of quarterbacks. That's simply just not true, Rod, that just anybody can do it. That's not true here.
And one thing I really like about Heupel is what he's done is bring in, someone smarter than him in the offense.
Yep.
That's very, very crucial. It takes a real wise man to be humble enough to bring in people around him that are smarter than him. That's why he never messes with our boy on the defensive line.
That's right.
He knows Rodney Gardner knows what he's doing.
That's right.
It's just been proven over the years. So it takes a real good, humble coach to come in and say, you know what, I need someone smarter than me, to be on my staff. That way they can, pull me to the side and say, listen, coach, you kind of, messed up those 30 seconds right there. We don't need that to happen again.
Also, the way that they did their deal this year where they kind of changed their offense and sort of kind of an admission that, hey, we're either going to evolve or we're going to get run over here or squashed like a bug.
That's true.
So.
And all of us know, especially Bino, I know Bino knows, if Cheney is allowed to have a say-so next year, if not Pavia, but Aguilar does come back, and then we do have Brandon behind him to watch, this is going to be incredible, guys. Go Vols.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, you I think you got to do it. By the way, shout out Jim Chaney. He was right on Haynes King. If you'll remember, Bino,
gun, isn't he?
That Haynes King was a guy Chaney said to Tennessee, don't fool around and don't go get this. Who was it? The kid that's now the backup at Florida. Help me out, guys.
Harrison Bailey.
He said, don't do that. Go get Haynes King. That's a guy I like. Go get Haynes King. Now, Haynes King started at A&M and wasn't. I don't think he was great shakes there. He's a perfect example of a guy that's grown into that deal, Bino. He's had an opportunity to grow into it.
Yeah.
And he's a perfect example of that, Haynes King is.
Yeah.
And those guys are now, see, here's the other thing. They're going to go to 5 years, a uniform 5 years in early October. And when they do that, those veteran quarterbacks that can't, this guy kind of fits that mold. They're not quite pro quarterbacks. Casey Clausen, another good example. They're darn good college players. And those guys get that extra year of earning, learning while you're earning, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you can, if you could walk a Joey Football in here annually, you would live in the playoffs with him playing quarterback for you. And probably every couple of years, if you had that level of quarterback play, every 5-6 years or so, you could get yourself like to a national semifinal. And every once in a while, you could play in the championship game and maybe win one if you put enough team around a guy like that. You guys think I'm overstating that?
No. And Tony, I just think there's something huge about guys that have been knocked down several times. And I think you saw that character out of Joey in the Mississippi State game after a couple of pretty critical mistakes. Not all of his making, but pretty critical mistakes. Haynes King's the same way. Bo Nix was the same way by the time he got out to Oregon. These guys that have been through it and been knocked down several times, give me them in a game like Saturday over a guy that hasn't.
Back to the phones we go.
They had to deal with a team like Tennessee had to deal with on the road, tricky spot.
Yep.
And they survived. And they really, in a way, probably deserve to lose themselves.
Oh, they got Wake Forest got job, dude. And if you look at Georgia Tech's schedule, I'm not sure they're going to lose a game till they play Georgia. If you look at their schedule. But let's go to the phones. We're going to do a 10,000-foot deal on Wednesday like we do in the blog and have some thoughts for you. People tell me they really enjoy that. C helps me put it together. Tomorrow, TGMD will have some inside thoughts on the Mississippi State game as well. Hello and welcome in on our Monday edition. You're on the air.
Hey, what's going on, Tony? Who's your vote around?
Hey, Rye.
In defense of Heupel, though I do agree, I was with your commentary on the post game. I was a little alarmed, but did you all see how the Indiana-Iowa game ended? Because I was following that on my phone. I did not see it till later in the evening. Sometimes good coaches and good quarterbacks in college just make goofy decisions. So IU snaps the ball on 4th down and whatever with 3 seconds remaining, as opposed to punting it back to the greatest show on turf that is the Iowa Hawkeyes for 3 seconds, which of course they would score, right? Now, instead of just dancing around with his face towards the play clock and taking a knee, Fernando Mendoza, who is a fine college quarterback, turns tail and runs dead to the end zone and took an intentional safety. Now, imagine if a Tyree West situation like State or a Clint Sterner stumble fumble had happened and Iowa had recovered. So that's my defense of Heupel, though I think his was worse. Sometimes these young men and coaches in college just make screwy decisions. Doesn't make them bad coaches.
It's like Matt says, it's what makes college football such a great game. It really is.
Because I've never seen a quarterback do that, Tone. I'm telling you, it was 40 yards. It wasn't 5.
Yeah, you just.
He ran
in other
40
words,
yards.
In other words, the clock has already run out. Get on the damn ground. The game's over, dude. Get on the ground.
At the 10. Yeah, and he ran it into the end zone.
Ryan, I know a guy who will remain nameless that bet that game
pretty
live.
Upset.
Indiana -6.5.
I bet he
the guy
will curse
turns
Mr.
around
Mendoza
and
for
runs
life.
40 yards into the other end zone, takes safety, 5-point win.
He had action on the game. Only way to explain that one. The QB
I'm
did.
just saying, look, Heupel's decision-making was bizarre, But is Kurt Cignetti a bad coach?
No.
Did Heupel tell Aguilar, hey, why don't you not check down at all and hold the ball?
Yep.
I'm just saying I am alarmed by his post-game decision, but the more I look at it, I'm like, this is the sport we love, and it's not Bill Belichick and Vince Lombardi out there. We gotta remember that. Both those are good coaches. Both those are good quarterbacks.
Yep.
Just saying.
Heupel's pretty good. That's my word for him.
Have you seen Bill Belichick's team at North Carolina, though?
Heupel's,
bad example.
He is out there.
Bill Belichick 20 years ago.
Heupel's pretty good to very good, though, guys. And very good is good enough to live in the playoffs here. And that is what, like Dave said a second ago, it's playoff sport now. That's all, or like W. Lynn said, that's the truth, man.
Not saying I do, out the door, have to make light of Heupel's situation. Do you know what Josh Heupel's favorite proverb is?
What's that?
Spare the rod, spoil the child, because he don't believe in timeouts.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. That's a great line. Now that's a great line. He comes from the Dean Smith school of timeouts, though, where you just don't take them. I swear they gave some Dean Smith back in the day some kind of bonus for all the timeouts you saved. As we take a brief TO, another thing is Tennessee's lay-down lineman thing. Is it time to retire that? I asked Bino and the crew that as we continue a quick one here. Are you stuck in a dead-end job or ready for a new challenge? Do you feel like it's time to try a new career? Well, it's time to change lanes with TLD Logistics. My friends at TLD Logistics have some really exciting opportunities for you to learn a new skill. With a new 5-acre driving academy that's now under new leadership with all new course material. And the best part, it's absolutely free. What a great deal to set you on the road to higher pay. And TLD Logistics even offers weekly stipends to offset food and gas expenses. In 6 weeks' time, you could complete this course and be in compliance with FMCSA regulations. Then you're ready for the open road of opportunity. What are you waiting for? It's time to change lanes with TLD Logistics. Visit TLDlogistics.com. That's TLDlogistics.com. TLD Logistics.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
TB here for Cedar Bluff Plumbing, a live and local company that's been serving our area for over 32 years and counting because every customer counts, and I mean no job is too small. Cedar Bluff Plumbing just voted #1 by City View magazine because multiple plumbing experts are on call to serve all your plumbing needs. Chances are there'll be a plumber in your area when you call, and they won't send some salesman to your house. You're going to get a high-character, trustworthy, highly trained plumber who will serve you, not like some of these guys that look like they came off the set of America's Most Wanted. Cedar Bluff Plumbing is Basilio tested and approved and will go the extra mile for you because Chucky Mack is a servant of the people and my consigliere to the throne, celebrating over 32 years of serving living volunteers. Cedar Bluff Plumbing. Call 588-4448. That's 588-4448. Cedar Bluff Plumbing.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Chilio here, and you know my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's national award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com. Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company. The great William Pattison coming up here momentarily on the playbook. My name's Tony Basilio. I want to invite you to check us out over on our website at tclub.team. Again, tclub.team, or you punch in tonybasilio.com. Either way you get there. We're going to do a TLD Logistics Overdrive overtime. Love you, appreciate you, love your show, all that good stuff. Enjoy your Monday.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
And so here we go.
It's TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime, presented by TLD Logistics. Online at tldlogistics.com.
I just love Connexial, Kristen. Sweet gal. Love
and
you
now
too,
let's
Sammy.
go to the guys with today's edition of TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime.
Love you too, Sammy. Tony B back with you. Reporting from the Raymere studio here. All right, Bino. So Matt had a moment of, I don't know what it was, clarity, got kind of emotional. He called the lay-down lineman Mickey Mouse shit and said it's time to retire it. Do you agree with that sentiment, Bino?
I do, Tony. I don't put it in the same category as faking injuries in the middle of someone's drive in order to slow the pace, in order to get substitutions in. It obviously doesn't affect the game that way. But if you're Tennessee and you want officials to take seriously someone getting hit by a sniper in the middle of one of your up-tempo drives, if you want them to take that seriously, then you shouldn't use the same tactic for your own advantage, even if it's apples to oranges on why it's done.
Okay.
Yes, I think they need to retire it. I think enough's enough with that. And I do think it's Mickey Mouse.
So if you have a thought on that this hour, I'm going to address it in the blog tomorrow. I kind of find it an endearing, because I have like a...
I think it's comical,
yeah,
I still think it's Mickey Mouse.
Here's the question. Does doing that inhibit you getting a half whistle? Because Brian had a great line. Heupel still gets a have-not whistle. And, Brian, I loved your passion the other day on the air. I think that's a great way of putting it. Like, Danny White or somebody needs to come up, or Heupel needs to fight for himself in press conferences. Now, they won the game the other day, but there were a lot of coaches that would have looked into the microphone or the cameras, and he's not one of them, but would have leaned into the microphone and said, look, that call on Chris Brazzell is a disgraceful call on a football field. And it's happening to us at too alarming of a rate. We made the playoffs last year. We were one of, and you could say this, I'd say this right into the microphone. We were one of, I mean, I think this is a fair thing to say. A fair thing, think about it now. A very justifiable thing to say into a microphone would be, we were one of the 3 playoff teams to represent the Southeastern Conference last year. Period. Why aren't we getting a have whistle in this league? Question mark. We all know in this sport that some are treated like haves and some are treated like have-nots. Period. This is something that Nick Saban would say. Period. I'm not asking Josh Heupel to be something he's not, but at some point you got to fight for yourself. The question becomes, though, does the fact that they do this lay down lineman thing mark them for the officials? Bino, do you think it marks them? Because Matt does. Matt's convinced that as long as he does it, he's not going to get calls like he should get them. Because he does not get calls. They do not get a whistle commensurate with their record. It's bizarre. They're easily like a top 6 or 7 team in the league. And what is Mississippi State right now, guys? I mean, let's think about this. Bottom 3? In what world?
They're in the bottom tier. They're definitely in the bottom tier.
In what world does a bottom tier team get that call there? Somebody tell me. In whose world? And why would they ever get that call? What do you think, Bino? I think it's costing them?
It's really thought-provoking, Tony. I don't know if it's the major factor, but I certainly wouldn't throw it away as being a factor, because officials are just human, and they know what you're doing, and they know that there's little to nothing they can do about it. So I mean, I won't discount that.
Yeah, Matt's point is it's almost doing that. And somebody called in and said that Heupel's a very competitive guy who has a little spite in him. And so there's like this cat and mouse with the officials. And the guy from South Carolina said the other day he needs to let it go and quit doing it. And I said I'll introduce it during the bye week. So as you listen to the show this week, if you want to call in, if you have a thought on that, I'd love to hear from you. And if you're an official, I would love to hear from you. If you want to email me and say, hey, on the QT, they got to quit doing that. It's certainly going to impact. Because they are, the term mockery comes from mocking. There is a sense of they're mocking the game by doing that. Now, some people are going to get offended by that, us saying that about the head coach at UT. You know that, right? But it's never stopped us from calling it like we see it. I agree with Matt. I like it, though. I think it's funny. I give that Bennett kid a lot of credit. He might be the best at it. I don't know if they put him over there at Clarence Brown, or maybe Coach David Keith has been working with him, but somebody's been working with this kid because he's an excellent thespian. He is a great thespian.
One of these days, Tony, one of our linemen is really going to get hurt on that.
Yep.
And they're going to put him in that tent and then take him back to the locker room. And we're going to think, boy, that's as much commitment to the bid as I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Because I'm never going to believe that anybody's really hurt.
What is that nursery rhyme, Little Boy Blue or something? Or in the 3 sheep that always acted hurt? Always acted something. Little boy.
No.
Little blow peep. What was it?
Wasn't that the little boy that always hollered wolf?
Woof. Thank you. Let's go to the phones.
Yeah.
Hello.
Got like 6 nursery rhymes put together. Hey, Tony, real quick. Just something that was said earlier in Dave's call. T-Bone texted me and told me that Pavia did win his first case. And that Dave's point was that right now, Aguilar is in the same position that Pavia was in when he won his case.
Oh, so next level.
He's eligible by the first ruling.
Back to the phones we go. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
What's up, guys? It's Music City Sam.
Sammy, would you take this quarterback for another year?
Oh, no doubt.
Yes?
No doubt. Yeah, and I'll explain in a minute. But hey, does Bino have any eligibility? Because if he was playing offensive lineman, they might actually believe he was hurt on an extra point.
Interesting.
Hey, Sam, if I play
Sorry,
a play,
Bino.
believe me, there'll be no faking. I will be hurt.
Well, they could put negative in. He's 62. He's a man. He could play it.
Yep, he's a man. Hey, how about
Anyway,
Negative on here challenging people to fights on the air?
I'd say it to his face. I don't care.
I mean, they say 60's the new 40, Sam. But geez Louise, Negative.
Hey, my dad's 62. I'll tell him he's mentally ill if he says something dumb.
Interesting.
But yeah, I would take Aguilar for another year. College football to me is becoming similar to, when NFL teams get a guy on a rookie contract that plays out of his mind and they can divert resources to other key areas. That's kind of what an elite college team structure would be for me. There's no point in having $2 or $3 million sitting on the bench for a quarterback when you could spend it on. I mean, imagine if we had a top level safety for another $1 million. What our team could be this year.
That's my point. Yes, and you're taking this kid from North Carolina, who we don't know whether or not he can play. Maybe he's the greatest player of all time, and I'm not saying do it, but you got to really think. If I didn't spend $2 million on Nico's freshman season to watch that year, and say I would have gone out even that year and gotten a veteran quarterback, because they knew Joe Milton couldn't play. So I would have gone out and gotten a fifth-year guy and said goodbye to him, because some teams will do that now. That team probably would have been better. Or, to your point, get away from the quarterbacks for a second. Let's say I ride with Joe Milton, but I surround him with a couple more shiny toys. Who knows? But you are right, man. Especially the way we can identify defensive players out of the portal. That's this staff's strength. Whoever's over there doing that. I mean, this guy from Colorado they got that was a situational player just got a first-round grade. I mean, are you kidding me? Bino, the guy was a situational player for Deion Sanders, who's a Hall of Famer. The guy got a first-round grade.
Yeah. So they got a head coach that's a DB giving us great DBs, and we got a head coach that's a quarterback taking people's scraps, and they're the best players he's got.
Hey, we've done pretty dang well in identifying people in the portal. Wendell Moy,
No,
Sam
that's
Templeton,
true.
Jermon McCoy.
That's right.
Colton Hood. It's pretty great. So, yeah, I mean, only 4 years into this NIL era, it seems like it's been around a while, but I think we're going to start to see things change. Because unless you are a Texas that just wants to park millions of dollars on the bench for no reason, there's really not a point to do it.
Yeah, those kids are I wonder if those kids, when you get to a fifth-year deal, I wonder if it marginalizes them. Think about that, guys, because you get to that fifth year, all of a sudden there's a population of quarterbacks that would have aged out that will be the star free agents. Bino, those are the ones that are going to sop up the money.
Yeah, this is going to be like pandemic roster teams all over again.
And it's going to make the sport better. Yep, it's going to make the sport better.
I think so. So something I've been thinking about, I might do some research on this if I have enough time, but I would be curious to go back on the last 3 years, and specifically in the SEC, take a coach's total wins and divide them by the average star rating of their recruits. In other words, the talent on your team.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you Heupel is top 3 in the SEC in those last 3 years. I think Drinkowitz at Missouri may be up there as well because they've had 10-win seasons. But if your average roster is 4.5 stars and you've had 32 wins the last 3 years, and Heupel's had 30 with a 3.2 all-star roster, that ratio is better. And that's kind of why I get amped up about guys calling Heupel out and saying, we need to fire him after, a close Mississippi State game. It's just crazy to me, after what we went through for 10 years, to be in this situation and say fire someone. Who are you going to go get that would have a better ratio than that? I don't know.
I think that's well put. And I think a word to the wise is sufficient. This guy is still a young guy. He's a young coach. He's shown us that he's got the ability to – and I don't think he's off the charts great, Sam, but he's pretty damn good, man. And he's going to be good enough to make the playoffs, just like our quarterback. Our quarterback's not going to wow you. He's going to win a lot of games, though. Go ahead, Bri.
Tennessee-Arkansas game is set for 4:15 Eastern, 3:15 Central on SEC Network.
I knew they were going to do that. We were talking about that in the post game. I knew that was going to be a Dave Neal special.
And Alabama, Missouri is at noon.
Hang on. Tennessee, Arkansas. Go ahead, Bri. Do that again. 4:15. Go ahead, Bri. 4:15.
Alabama, Missouri is at noon on ABC. Washington State at Ole Miss, 12:45 on SEC Network. ABC 3:30, Oklahoma versus Texas. So we're up against Oklahoma, Texas. And the night games will be Florida at Texas A&M, Georgia at Auburn, and South Carolina LSU.
How about that? That's the first time I can remember in a long time that Oklahoma, Texas was not played at noon. Unless I'm imagining things, Bri.
Yeah, 11 a.m. their time. That is kind of wild.
Usually what they do down there at the fairgrounds.
They'll have more time to hang out and eat more corn dogs at the fairground before they go into the game this year.
Poor Arkansas, Sammy. They're so bad that they stuck us right back in that Dave Neal 4:15 window. Bino, did you listen to poor Dave the other day? When he called that field goal good, Bino, the ball wasn't even on the screen. I don't know what he was doing. Look, I'm multitasking here, and but when I'm calling a game, I can't look away and be writing on it. What could he possibly have done to think the kick was good?
I have no idea, Tony. I have no clue.
It wasn't even close. But go ahead, Sammy. I'm sorry.
No, I think, one of my favorite pastimes is watching a game and having a virtual argument with the announcers. Because my God, some of the stuff they say.
Oh my gosh.
They'll be like, oh, it looks like he might have pushed him off on that offensive pass interference. Can you just shut up for a second? That's why we need that replay interactive thing to get them to shut up for 2 minutes.
We could have Beth Mowens doing the game like she did Titans game yesterday.
Thank you, Sam.
Oh, God.
I think the response to that has been so good in the ACC game.
Yep.
I think every league will have it next year.
The SEC ought to go to it now. I mean, they can do this. You know?
Yeah.
Another thing about that replay, and he's right about this.
People have to get their Alabama gear off down there.
I was watching.
They're going to show them live.
I was watching the game with C the other night, okay, when that replay happened, and he made a great point. It's another element that you watch where you don't feel like the game is in a break because you're actually watching these two interact. So it's another engaging piece of the game versus you just staring at a referee's ass who's looking into a hood and, on the sideline, and you're locked out of it. And they bring in some replay guy who's just some Joe Blow, some former official who is always going to say, this is what I think the call is. And then when they make the call and it's opposite of what he said, he's going to go, yeah, they got it right. Really? Now how did they get it right when you just told me this and it was that? How did they, explain that to me? You like at Bino when they do that? They come on and they say, well, this is the call. And
I've always thought those guys were just total waste of time, apologist mouthpieces up there for officials.
And they are. Bri, how was Beth Mowens? Beth Mowens did the Titans game?
Yeah, and it was a perfect soundtrack to a game like that.
New rule in the NFL. If you're the reason Beth Mowens is calling your game, you're fired. She's like the Turk. She's like the Turk. She has a guttural sound that comes out of her mouth, Bino. No offense to her. Not a big Meth Mowens fan. Back to the phones we go. Just not very pleasant to listen to. No offense. Very husky.
Well, okay.
I don't know if it's husky. What would you call her voice, Bino? Is it husky? Do you want to chime in on her voice, Bino, or do you want to sit that one out?
No, I'll sit this one out, Tony. I will say,
Susan Waldman.
I hope she keeps calling Titans games. That way, I'll only hear twice a year.
Bino, do you think Susan Waldman is a pleasure to listen to?
Absolutely not, Tony.
She has a guttural sound coming out of her mouth. Isn't she an opera singer?
She is an opera singer. Mm-hmm. Was.
Back to the phones we go. TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime. You're on the air. Hi.
Well, we go from complaining about Tennessee not covering a spread. Then Saturday after the post-game show, we complain about Tennessee not playing good on both offense and defense. And now just when the Arkansas time got released, we complain about not getting a night game. I mean, what's going to be next?
Exactly, Joshy boy. I'm sick of this. I think I'm going to hand in my microphone. I'm sick of this crap.
Yeah, our Twidiots will complain about anything.
I've seen you on there, Joshy boy, twittying. You've been known to twitty every once in a while with the Twidiots.
I remember Joshy boy at the end of the Kentucky game once.
Yeah, Joshy boy, you've been known to kind of twitty it around a little bit. No offense to you.
Yeah, that's true. But it seemed like last year when we had a lot of night games, our Twidiots complained about having too many night games.
Yep.
You know? Yeah.
I wonder how many night games we're going to have this year, guys.
Come on, be happy in life, guys. I don't know. I'd say that Alabama game will be a night game. The Kentucky
I think
game
Kentucky might be. Kentucky or Oklahoma will be a night.
Kentucky and the Oklahoma game will probably be a night game.
Interesting.
I'm going to predict Oklahoma's a night game, and that's our dark mode night.
Yeah, I agree with that, Bino. Bino, if you're tired of listening to Beth Mullins, if you and Brian are tired of listening to her, you should hear that chick that calls NHL games on ESPN.
I've heard her too. No offense.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I must not be an adjusted person well
worse
enough.
Than bad.
Oh my gosh, she's really bad.
Yeah.
No offense. I know I'm going to offend some people, but
yeah. So before I get to my Tennessee stuff, Tony, do you think when the Phillies play the Dodgers next round, how much of a chance are you giving your Phillies to advance?
Oh, they're going to be the favorite, so I give them.
Yeah, they'll be favored.
Yeah, I give them a great chance. Who knows? It's a new season. I'm
surprised you're not being negative.
Dodgers
you're
are
negative Phillies stuff.
Well, we've played them really well. Dodgers were all beat up too.
Yeah.
Go Reds.
Yeah, go Reds. Hope they beat the Dodgers. So, I don't know if you guys talked about Saturday night on the postgame. I'm sure you guys did, but how about Arian Carter having a career-high 17 tackles against Mississippi State, man?
Yep.
He's all over the place Saturday.
Playing with turf toe.
Yeah, he is.
Out there hurt.
Yep.
Kid's just a warrior. He's a football player.
Yeah. I'm sure he got a SEC Defensive Player of the Week.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't he, with 17 tackles?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what are your guys' thoughts so far? We're in the 5 games in the season so far on Tim Banks. I think he's doing a solid job as defensive coordinator for what we got on defense with some of our players banged up.
Yeah, I agree with that. So, some are going to go at him for blitzing too much in the Georgia game. Some are going to go at him if he didn't blitz enough in the Georgia game and you sat there and let the kid pick you apart. And I mean, for where they are and the amount of guys they've had missing, the amount of snaps that they've been missing guys, to be where they are right now is plenty good for me. And they're going to, by the way, in college football, you're always going to give up big plays. It's just the nature of the sport. So.
Yeah, that's true. So the first interception that Joey threw, I don't think that was his fault. The ball that bounced off of Kitzelman's hands. So do you guys think the second one was Joey's fault?
I think they both are. I think he threw the ball into heavy traffic twice. And, look, in this league, that's the thing about him that scares me is he's not wildly accurate on those intermediate throws. Yeah. And you see that with SEC defenses. When the ball goes up in the air, they're going to come down with it, Bino. These guys are different. It's a different kind of athlete than you'll see in a directional game.
Yeah, Josh, I said earlier in the show that he was wild in the strike zone. I'm going to go 1-1 there because I think Kitzelman, a player his level, should have caught at least one of those two balls.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's a fair thing to say, Bino.
Hey, Bino, did your boy Adonai Mitchell have any money on that game yesterday after fumbling out of the end zone?
That was really bad.
I tell you, Joshy, I'm sure he's sick about it today, as anyone. But at some point, NFL players have to learn, hey, let me get this thing in the end zone before I start pointing the spotlight at myself.
I swear
How
to
about
Pete,
we score a touchdown and then I can celebrate?
Swear to Pete, guys, I would fine a guy $1 million in the NFL for doing that.
It's just stupid.
Yeah. It's literally $1 million.
It's correctable and it's stupid.
It's selfish, is what it is.
Yeah.
And then he held later in the game and brought back a 58-yard touchdown run. So basically, he's about the sole reason that the Colts lost yesterday.
What would your record be right now, Beanstar?
That'd be 4-0.
Wow, what a great start that would have been. You'd be the talk of the league right now. Instead, it's the Eagles that are talk of the league.
Yeah. That, even though the score wasn't close to it indicated, I thought that Eagles-Buccaneers game was a solid game yesterday.
Great game. Very high level. The Bucs never quit. And the Eagles did what they had to do. The Eagles are doing things with their special teams, and I love that little wrinkle because everybody bitches and moans about this.
Yeah.
We have a friend, me and Bino, is a big Steeler fan who called me up and said, it's not fair. I'm like, you're a Steeler fan. It's not something's not fair. I mean, what?
Yeah. You
guys are supposed to be the toughest franchise in the world. If anybody should be able to run that play, it's the Steelers down through the year. You're tougher than everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, Bino, did you see that little wrinkle that the Eagles did where they acted like Hurts was going to take it on the tush-push, and then he flipped it out to Barkley, who walked into the end zone. It was beautiful.
I did see that.
It was beautiful.
That was beautiful. Yeah.
Josh, did you stay up and watch Cowboys last night?
Yeah, I did. I ended up having the Packers -7 and never had a chance after Cowboys took that momentum before halftime.
In 2 consecutive weeks, the Green Bay Packers, everybody tells me is going to go to Super Bowl, are 0-1-1 versus the 2 worst owners maybe in the history of sports.
Yeah.
In that Haslam guy and Jerry Jones. 2 meddlesome, just moronic sports owners. No offense to Jimmy Haslam, but he sucks. And that guy in Dallas is just not good.
Yeah, Tony, I want to make a comment out the door. I think we should get Negative opponent so he can fight. And my opponent for him is going to be none other than Roberto, and I'm going to be the guest referee. See ya.
Thank you. I would almost pay to see that on pay-per-view. If you could pull that off on pay-per-view, you got a friend in me, bruh.
Hey, we can have Andy versus Florida in the other match down under the card.
What happened to Florida, bruh? He just disappeared on us, man.
It's going to be.
Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on our TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime.
What's going on, boys?
Hey, what's up, Lay?
Not much. Has the point shaving operation here in Nashville, have they fired their coach yet today? Or
Tell you what, the Hardigree guy, man, he moved the bar. He moved the bar on that offense. Cam Ward, after the game yesterday, said, we're to the point now where we don't have anything to lose. I'm like, yeah, you do, bro. You got like 13 more games to lose. Because that's what y'all are going to do. If you're not careful, you're going to go 0-17, the team they're putting out there, Lee.
Dude, here's your weekly update. He is now 3-18 against the spread in the most efficient market on the planet. This guy is 3-18. I don't know what it's the damnest thing I've ever seen, man.
Bino, are you for or against this guy in Nashville keeping his job?
I tell you, Tony, as a Colt fan watching that team a couple of weeks ago, I felt sorry for him because that looked to me to be the worst coached NFL team I've ever seen.
Lee, what should a team versus a spread be if you're coached properly, right? By the models, what should that look like?
I mean, you should be around 500. I mean, generally, you're going to – those markets are generally as good as anything else in the world. I mean, you're going to end up pretty close to 500. Like, to be 3-18 is pretty insane, man. Like, they opened 8.5-point dogs at Arizona in their next game.
That's tantalizing, isn't it, Lee? What do you think happens there? Do they cover that spread?
No, I mean, but it's an insane line. Like, the Cardinals shouldn't be favored by 8.5 over anybody, but there's no way you can take the Titans. Like, it's impossible. You just can't do it. I mean, there was one day last week, there was like talk about the Rapture was coming one day, and I was like, I ain't got time for this crap. I was like, the Rapture's coming today. The Titans cover a spread. That's when I know the Rapture's coming.
That's a great line, dude.
Oh, no, I'm surprised I wasn't on the Colts yesterday. That was pretty vicious, man. Like, they had that game, and Colts plus 3.5, that was pretty brutal. I gave an 88-yard touchdown pass last minute of the game, like, after they were up by 7. Like, but somehow I ended up, I did lose another game yesterday in the NFL on a block kick at the end of the game. That was pretty good, too.
Who was that?
Raiders minus 1.5. They're down by 1, kicking a field goal at the end of the game to win it, and kick gets blocked. They lose by 1. Yeah. My weekend was so bad. Nico was the only person that came through for me.
Let's go, dude. When Nico is your backdoor cover, man. And listen, they were down 17-0. I tell you what I like about that interim coach at UCLA. He is awful. That guy was Lee. That guy was kicking field goals. Like what are you contending for your conference championship? Like, it's 4th and short, and we've got like a foot and a half to go, and we're on the 15-yard line, and this dude's kicking field goals, Lee, like he's coaching a legitimate football team.
I mean,
what in the world?
I don't know, man. I give up trying to figure out what's going through these coaches' heads, man, when they're making these decisions, including our own coach, by the way.
That 38-second thing 28-second thing that he did the other day was just.
I mean, the end of both halves.
I get the first one, though. I get the first one because he thinks I don't want to give them the ball back and I can score anytime I want to, which is what it looked like. But you're right. It ended up looking bad when you miss a field goal. You're right.
I don't know. Not taking a timeout after Levy runs the ball on 3rd down before half. Like, when Levy runs it on 3rd down, he's waving the white flag. Like, Levy's not going to go for it. Go ahead and take your timeout. Like, he's gonna punt the ball back to you. Like, I don't know. Like, I get the second guessing, but man, those things will come back to bite you if you want to keep playing coin flip games in overtime. Like, those are gonna rough way to make a living. But I'm just glad we won.
I agree.
Just start this. A couple of those other games, real quick. Alabama and Georgia. I don't know how that over doesn't get there with 38 points in the first half. But Kirby Smart, my God, man, if you're not going to kick the field goal and tie it up on 4th and 1. Just kick the field. If you're not going to kick it, fine. But don't give it. You got a running back. The Bowens kid's averaging like 7.7 yards a carry, and you give the ball to Cash Jones. What are you doing, man? Like, don't complain to me about losing to Bama when that's your call.
Teacher's pet. Cash Jones, a teacher's pet. And then later on in a subsequent series, he was the guy they flipped the ball to around midfield and lost like 9 yards. They keep going back to their pet. I'm like, at what point does flipping a ball to a white guy in space, Bino, at what point does that make sense when you're trying to win a football game? No offense to this Cash Jones guy. What are we doing? And that was a horribly designed. You know what that looked like? That was something James Franklin would have done, Lee. That looked like a James Franklin special.
Oh, man, Franklin. Look, the Penn State-Oregon game, like, look, James Franklin has to wear it. Like, there's no question about it. Like, he's got to wear that one. But that being said, I don't really blame him specifically for that game. Like, I don't even think Alar was just awful or anything. They could not block Oregon up front.
No.
Like, it didn't matter what they ran. They had no time to set up anything, to do anything, because Oregon just destroyed them at the line all night long. And that was my whole handicap. Like, I thought Penn State would be able to run the ball on them. Like, Northwestern was able to run it on them, and Oregon's defense just completely annihilated Penn State. They had no shot to run anything. Like, I don't know what Franklin really could have done, to be honest. But, I mean, at the end of the day, he's got to wear it. Like, he's not going to get a better setup than he had.
I'm starting to think this Oregon bunch, guys, is a pretty good football team. I'll tell you one thing. That Dan Lanning, do you see, Bino, at the end of that game, how he almost knocked that sideline reporter over that was coming to interview him?
Yeah.
That is one insane human being. Can you imagine what he's like behind closed doors?
Oh, yeah. He's a guy that obviously can't turn it off. He needs to go to decap real quick.
I mean, he's nuts.
Am I – surely James Franklin, surely that was a parody account that sent out that tweet that said, help us go 1-0 versus UCLA this week after losing that game. Did he really send that out?
I saw it, too. I got a Penn State fan sent it to me and said, this pisses me off. Joe O'Sullivan sent it to me.
You talk about tone dead. If he sent that thing out,
we need you
I'd
all
like
on
to
board.
see Ball Twitter's responses to that bad boy.
Hey, Lee, that's Nico at Happy Valley, right?
Yes.
Will he perform better, Lee, than that kid from SMU last year in that playoff game, or is it going to look like that?
It'll look worse than that. The Jennings kid at least recouped after he threw 2 interceptions to start the game. I don't think Nico has much of a prayer in that. Like, Penn State's defense is still pretty daggum good. I mean, they kept them in that game they almost won it.
Yeah, they're very good.
Do you know how many times I've probably lost 1 trillion games where I'm on the underdog in overtime? Just once. Like, I was like, oh, my God, if Penn State gets a stop, I'll actually cover with the favorite in overtime for the first time ever. Of course, that didn't happen. Like, that's just, man, you can't run worse than I'm running right now. It's pretty amazing.
Hey, when you get one of those streaks, you know what I tell my gambling buddies? Just keep on betting, dude.
Let's keep firing away. It's money.
Keep firing away, bro. It's just money. It's just money.
It's just money, man. Hey, real quick.
I know with how serious you are about it, Lee, when I'm just doing these little recreational things that I do and I get on a bad stretch like that, I'm thinking, boy, Brett Favre told those NFL officials, right, I need to take 2 weeks off and then quit.
Well, poor Lee. Hey, Lee was on the Rams last week, Bino, and that's one of the worst beats in the history of mankind when Davis runs the ball like 65 yards for a touchdown. Lee, please tell me you weren't on Indiana the other night. Please tell me you weren't on Indiana.
Yeah. Get this one, Lee. Now, you'd had to have been on it live. I know a guy that had Indiana minus 6.5 live bet. You know, I think the thing went to like 9.5 or something like that when you bet it for the whole game, but 6.5. When that guy turns around and sprints 40 yards, I mean, the clock's already run out. All he's got to do is just stop somewhere and the game's over, runs it all the way in the end zone, takes that safety, and it goes from 7 to 5, and that's a loser.
I'd have been
now,
so
that's
damn
a
mad.
Bad beat right there.
I would have been so damn mad I couldn't have seen straight.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, that's pretty brutal. But, I mean, to be honest, like, Iowa was kind of the right side anyway. Like, that game was, like, tied or close, like, the whole game pretty much until the very end when Indiana got that margin. So, I mean, at least it wasn't one of those situations where you were the clear right side the entire game and then have that happen to you at the end. But yeah, I've heard some people mention that stuff like, this is all rigged, or Vegas knows. Like Vegas gives a crap about whether or not Indiana covered or not. You could actually middled it if you got Indiana early in the week and you got Iowa late. But yeah, it's brutal, man. I mean, see, that's what I'm talking about. Is generally these markets are super, super efficient. Like, they're going to come pretty close. That's what I'm talking about with the Titans, why this is insane, why he can't even come close to covering these numbers. Like, he lost 26-0 to the most inefficient offense in the league yesterday. Like, and I don't know why he has a job today. I feel so bad for these people here that actually love this team. Like, I gave up on them a long time ago. I don't know, man. It's like, then you got Cam Ward was up there. Cam Ward said, "We ass." Like, dude, you can't throw for 100 yards. Like, I feel bad for the kid. Like, I think he wants to be a leader, but he's never done anything, so he can't really be a leader. Like, I don't know what they're going to do.
Hang on. I need you to break it down scientifically with Titans Bill, who just called my cell phone. Bill, I got Nashville Lee on here. He wants to know why your coach is still employed today.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't understand. I want to address something to make it, Dave. If you're going to compare somebody to Butch Jones, it isn't Josh Heupel. It's Brian Callahan. Comparing to Butch Jones. And that's a fact with my hand up, Mr. Tony Basilio.
What do you think, Lee, of the illiteracy of this show that you're interacting with Titans Bill through my personal cell phone, who called me on my personal phone? Yesterday, I didn't get to sleep till about 5:30 in the morning. This is a true story. I told it off the top of the show today. And, Bill, what time did you call me yesterday? What time did my phone ring?
I think I called you around 9.
You like it, Lee? You like my life, Lee?
I mean,
come on, dude. Because he wanted to talk about the Titans game. No, he wanted to talk about the Titans. Because you and I were talking about creating space a couple weeks ago off the air, and no offense to Bill, but that's what I was talking about. Bill, you're my man. Bill, are you still tightened up right now?
I'll be tightened up once Amy Adams Trunk gives Callahan the pink slip. Then I'll tighten up.
Bill, you're my man. Thank you. Good talking to you on my phone. Thanks for calling. Well,
apparently she fires everybody on Tuesdays. That's how she fired Robinson and the last couple of coaches and Vrabel. So tomorrow's the day, Bill.
Never on a Monday.
Hang in there.
Never on a Monday. Yeah. That old pop song.
See you, boys.
Thank you, my brother. Bino, did that old pop song go never on a Monday, or was that never on a Sunday? The old pop song. You know what I'm talking about? Was it never?
Yeah, I do, Tony, but I can't remember.
Was it never? Brian, do you know? Oh, he doesn't know. That's not Bro Country. Never on a Monday. Speaking of Bro Country, Brian, did you see where Zach Bryan had the largest crowd? Because CC Hoops was there as part of his crew last night. John Mayer opened the show at Michigan Stadium. They set like a new concert record. I think there was like 120,000 people at this concert, guys. You think it's enough people in the big house?
Wow.
To watch
Luke Combs is coming back to Neyland, or coming to Neyland. I think
heard
next
that.
Spring.
I've heard that. I've heard the Luke Combs rumors. Has that been confirmed or denied or anything? Or
I think it has been. I think it's sometime in April, maybe.
I heard that a couple weeks ago from one of my music buddies that they were cooking something up. I didn't know. Have they announced it, Brian?
It seemed like I saw it somewhere, but I don't know if it was an official announcement or just trying to. I don't know.
I like Luke Combs.
There's a good chance.
I like old Luke Combs. Bino would like Luke Combs. A lot of soul in Luke Combs' music. Which Bino and I have this thing where we talk about how people that adhere to almost traditional type country or mix in some of that, even like Texas twang sort of stuff, the Waylon Jennings, and there's a lot of soul in that music. A lot of soul. The stuff that comes out of Nashville these days, I'm not going to knock all of it because those are incredible musicians that play on that stuff, but it just doesn't have, Bino, what that old music had. There's something about it just doesn't feel the same, does it, Beanstar?
No, I don't relate to it, Tony.
No.
Not at all.
Some of those old 70s soul, soul sort of country tunes were just so good. So beautiful. So good. Like, Bino, I've never asked you this. Are you a Johnny Cash guy? I guarantee you Bino likes Johnny Cash.
I liked Johnny Cash, yes.
Yeah. Who's your favorite soul singer, Bino? I mean, country singer, Beanstar? Ever. If you had one.
Probably Merle Haggard.
I love that stuff. Merle and Waylon, dude. I love it. And I love Willie Nelson, too. Buddy of mine saw Willie Nelson a couple weeks ago. He saw Willie and Bob Dylan in concert. One's 85, Bino, and the other one's getting ready to turn 94. And they're still out there doing it.
Yeah, I'm glad to see Willie. Here's Willie's still out there.
Sure. He's a great walking advertisement for legalizing it, too. Ladies and gentlemen, speaking of you can place a bet now in our state. You can do so with my friends at VIP Play. Listen, if you listen to us on Winners and Losers over the weekend, you went 2-2 in our power play bets, and Nico helped save the. Bino, when Nico's your salvation on a betting weekend, might be time.
It ain't been good, Tony.
Might be time for the open week. But here's the thing about open weeks. There are no open weeks when it comes for action. Because tonight, the Flyers are in action. Bino's not going to believe us. 7 o'clock Eastern time. You guys can check your phones if you don't believe me, against the Boston Bruins. And I will have some action on that over at VIP Play. Now, the other day, I got kind of jobbed at the end of the first half, or I would have hit. The first quarter over was good. Tennessee should have had the first half line. They had a 2-score lead at one point, and then the thing ended tied. It pissed me off. But it urinated everybody off if you listen to our post-game show. And then the game easily went over the over. So the next time the Vols take the field, I'm just going to tell you right now, I don't care what they put the number at. Bino, what will the number be for the Arkansas game? Petrino and our defense versus their defense and our offense. Seriously, what do you guys think that number will be?
I think it'll be like 18.5, 18 to 20-ish.
No.
You're talking about the total?
Yeah, Bino.
We were 63.5 this past. It's going to be close to 70.
I play the over. I wonder what the highest over is in a league game. If Lee C, TGMD, one of you goofs knows that.
I think they got a chance to score 70 points in a conference game for the first time ever.
Oh, I
can tell.
I agree with that. Let me tell you something about this A&M bunch, and then I'll get back to VIP Play. You think UAB was bad? You wait till you see this.
Talking about Arkansas.
Arkansas. What did I say?
A&M.
You know what it's time for me to do?
It's time for all of us to get out of here.
That's exactly right. But let me say a word about my friends at VIP Play. 200 leagues, live always, numerous bet types. They had all kinds of great stuff going on with the Ryder Cup over the weekend, which went from an insurmountable margin to the Americans showing you the spirit we have as a nation. Although I was kind of cheering for the Europeans because I like their players better, and I'm a contrarian. Bino, does that surprise you I'd be cheering for the Europeans? No.
It does not, Tony, but it also doesn't surprise me that you think the Europeans are kind of more likable than our guys.
Live always, 200-plus leagues, numerous bet types, props, options. I think Bino just took a shot at my character there.
No, I didn't take a shot at you. I took a shot at our team.
Oh, they're a bunch of Richards. VIP Play where everybody gets treated like a VIP. And listen, I'm ripping people during my live reads. That means I've been at this too long. That means it's time to get off the air. And by the way, gambling problem, 800-889-9789. Must be 21 and over and located in the state of Tennessee to place a bet. Yeah, if you wear an American jersey, I should cheer for you, I guess. I don't know. But I ain't cheering for those guys. Sorry. There's a couple of them I like. But
it's hard to cheer for some of the fans, that's for sure.
Oh, my gosh. No offense. Bino, any final thoughts here on the way out? It was incredible.
No, I've enjoyed it, Tony. I I sure am glad Tennessee found a way to win going into this open date. That always makes it nicer.
Love will find a way, brother, if you want it to. Thank you. We're almost in the month of October. Somebody asked me what I thought of Rick Barnes' team, this basketball team at Calhoun's on Friday. I'm going to tell you what I think. I think it's going to be his best team he's ever had here. And it's some point this week we'll unpack that on the air. I think it's his best team he's ever had. So we have that to look forward to when October falls. In a beautiful fall. I love you. Listen, please understand to callers, I would love to stay on here and hang out all day and stay here and boogie. I planned on doing 15 minutes of overtime, and I went 40. How many minutes did we go? 49 minutes. Tony, you got to be kinder to yourself, man. You got to be kind. Gary Sturm asked me yesterday in the park. He said, what's the difference between 3 hours and 5.5? What are you doing 5.5 hours for? What are you trying to prove? Gary might be right. Gary, I love you. It was great talking to you yesterday. That was what I call a happy accident, my brother. But there are no accidents, if you know what I mean. I love you. I appreciate you. G to the B to the O. Thank you very much to Brian and Bino. God bless. And for those that missed any of today's activity, let's run it back for you, shall we? Let's do that. Let's run it back. For those of you who missed today's activity. And it is a special thing, isn't it? It is a special thing. All right, let's run today's show back, shall we? Those of you that missed that spun gold that emanated from my mouth earlier, it's no wonder some of you think I'm just so good. I'm just kidding. I love you. Appreciate it.
Listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Survive in advance, baby. Survive in advance, and don't fumble the ball on the way into the end zone. Like Bino's Colts did yesterday. Not that I want to bring up anything right off the top, but for our Tennessee Vols. Hey, man, we come out of, I think C said it best, Tennessee deserves to be 4-1. You take the Georgia game and you take the Mississippi State game, all the great things you did in the Georgia game, some of the weird things that happened in the Mississippi State game, they're right where they should be. Their record is who they are. And you know what? I'm good with it. That's a very good start for this team. Joey Aguilar era. I'm going to turn it over to Bino now. We talked about it for about 5.5 hours the other day. And then I couldn't get sleep at like 5 in the morning. And then Titans Bill Bino called